If you just now tuning in, hit the like and subscribe and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. GMS fam, the green room, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. How y'all feeling? Happy Wednesday. I'm glad to be here today, man. I'm glad that y'all are here with me. Make sure you tap into that live chat. Let me know if I'm low, man. Something happened with my mic before we started this show. Let me make sure I'm up. All right, cool. We're good, GMS fam. Hey, tap into the live chat. Let me know you're in here. Hit that like button. Let me know you are tapped in with us today. We have a lot of different topics to cover today, but you already know, first and foremost, we got to get to the topic that a lot of y'all do come through to this channel for, that we like to contribute ourselves and our opinions with. We will start. We're kind of going to start there. I actually do want to start with some background to it because, of course, you see the title. Last night, Corey went in on Meg Thee Stallion and also went in on the lawyer, Sean Holly, who he believes had it out for him and wanted to destroy him and his career. He had a lot to say about her. We're going to get to that in a minute, but I want to make sure we get some background into this Tory Lanez situation because, you know, if you followed this situation from the time it happened all the way up until now, you know, there's been a lot of speculation of people that feel like Tory is innocent. They feel like that night was something where everybody, all parties were super drunk and a lot of things happened and there's a lot of scattered memory for the most part, but we do have witnesses, eyewitnesses, and different things like that, ring camera, body cam. And the thing about it is, I vividly remember myself saying, when this all first happened, I told myself, listen, there's only two possibilities when it comes to this situation, when it comes to Tory. Either Tory is a complete psychopath or he's telling the truth. Because the way that he reacted to all of this happening, he was really, pushing the fact that he was an innocent man, that he didn't do what he was being accused of. He put out an entire album talking about the situation. It was like one of those moments where a person does something and because they don't want to be viewed that way, or they're in such denial, they will go to extreme lengths to follow through with the lie of the fact that they didn't do something that they know that they did. Or he didn't do what he was being accused of, and he wanted to make sure that he spoke his innocence. There's only two outcomes to this when it came to his reaction to the situation, because I followed that closely. I was like, if I was a guy, because it's hard for me to it's hard for me to lie. It's hard for me to get away with a lie. I'm not good at lying. My mannerisms, my body language, I can't lie. It's hard for me to do that. You can tell if I'm lying just by talking to me, if there's something I'm lying about. So for me personally, I don't know how I can go through going on social media every day and talking about it, and then on top of that creating an album where I'm talking about the situation and, you know, professing my innocence. It just wouldn't come out right. But he was very convincing. Now, not only was he very convincing in that aspect, Tory also had a lot that he was trying to accomplish at the time. He had just started Quarantine Radio. He was becoming one of the biggest artists out here in his field. There's a lot of things going for him at the time. But the one thing I feel like was his downfall was his undying allegiance to Cudi. He got himself in this situation, which is why I can't really feel that bad for him. But also, I don't think if he didn't actually pull the trigger, I don't think he deserves to be in prison right now. And that's just, I mean, for anybody. If you didn't commit a crime that you're being accused of, you shouldn't be in prison no matter what it is you're into. Now, he goes through the trial. All these things are happening. Kelsey Harris, who was a former best friend of Meg Thee Stallion, of course, we found out that Tory was sleeping with both of them. There was an argument that ensued. There was a fight that took place. We clearly know that there was a fight between Kelsey and Meg, which is another crazy part about this story, because the only two people who were on record having an actual physical altercation and being violent were the two women that were in the car. Not Tory, but them two. And then you have the absolute motive of why Kelsey would be the person to have pulled that trigger. You're sleeping with a man first, and not just a man, but you're somebody's friend who you're not Meg, you're the friend of Meg. So you being the friend of Meg and the superstar rapper singer guy is not going for her, but he's going for you. Of course, you have this feeling now like, oh my God, this guy wants me. He's not going for Meg, or he's not going for all these other, you know, high profile women that he can go for. He's going for me. So you have this feeling of, damn, you had him first. So now you find out and you realize, oh, it just so happened that now he just like everybody else. He went and, you know, smashed Megan. He was basically going after you to get to her. It's like it's a mental game that is being played at that time. And I believe that played into the situation at hand. I do still stand by the fact that I believe he should have never gotten in that car with them two. It would probably been a totally different situation. Who knows if Meg would have been alive? Let's keep it a bean. Who knows if she would actually be here today to tell her story if Tory wasn't in the car? You know what I'm saying? I believe that if Tory never got in that car that night, this situation would have been a lot worse. I do believe that there was a fight that took place. I do believe that a gun was pulled. I do believe that Tory was somebody who tried to possibly defuse the situation. And in the midst of grappling a gun and trying to fight for a gun, it went off. I do not believe that this nigga sat up there and literally pointed a gun towards Megan and told her, dance, bitch, and just start letting off shots. I don't believe that happened. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion, but I don't believe that happened. I believe that somebody else got away with the crime and Tory's paying for it. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter what I think. The courts decided that Tory was guilty, and now he's spending 10 years of his life in prison. Now, recently, Tory got into a very serious situation where a fellow inmate, decided to stab Tory multiple times, 14 to be exact. 2 in the back of the head, some to the torso, to the side. He had both his lungs collapse in this incident. And a matter of fact, not an incident, it was a targeted attack. He was targeted, he was attacked. It was a hit put out on this man's life. Now, for what reason? We can speculate, but we don't know. Now, shortly after, this is where a lot of the speculation leans in a certain direction, because after this happened, his legal team released that he had new evidence that'll prove Tory's innocence. Let's watch some of that real quick. Let's recap on some of this real quick. Shout out to some of the GMS fam. My bad, I didn't shout none of y'all. All in the soil. I see you. Buck Savage is in the building. Simo is here. Half Wolf is here. Hurricane JW is here. Daryl is in the building. Extraordinary regular niggas in the building. Subliminal Frequency, Juicy Fruit, T fam. If you are here tuning into the GMS show, make sure you tap into that live chat. I see y'all. Appreciate y'all, GMS fam. If you want to support in a big way, you can send super chats. If you don't respect YouTube taking half, then you can send it straight to the Cash App, which is in the description below. And if one of my GMS fam want to put it in this in the live chat here for me, I'll pin it to the top and we can move on from there. Appreciate y'all, man. GMS fam, let's get to it. Let's listen to the new evidence supposedly that his team has.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only...
TFam1, thank you for the 10 in the Cash App. I appreciate you so much, so much for supporting the GMS show in a big way, man. Thank you.
Non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken?
Jaquan?
Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
Now, this is interesting because what they're basically claiming is that during the trial, Kelsey Harris had a driver who was taking her back and forth, or not a driver, but she had a bodyguard with her who was going to and from with her while she was going to trial. And he claims that he overheard Kelsey talking about the fact that she was the one, in fact, who pulled the trigger, which is very interesting because it seems like this was something that the bodyguard withheld due to, of course, his loyalty towards Kelsey being his bodyguard, but also because these are things that a lot of people already felt in this situation, because why did Kelsey need immunity? And of course you have people like, oh well, she needed immunity because Tory was paying her, and you know, she didn't want to be put on the stand as this and that. Then you have the people that say, well, the phone call sounded horrible. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you believe, the phone call sounded horrible. I wish he was more specific on that phone call about what he was sorry about, even though a lot of people can use their common sense and think that, you know, if he's smashing both of them and something transpired that ended in somebody being assaulted or hurt or shot, you would want to apologize for that if you are a stand-up individual. But also Kelsey's demeanor in that phone call, you know what I'm saying? It's either her demeanor was, okay, I'm talking to somebody I'm scared of because he tried to shoot somebody, or I'm trying to be careful about what I'm saying because I know I fucked up as well. Because you got to ask yourself, what are you doing on the phone with him and giving him info? Like if Tory was the one that took a gun and shot Meg, on that phone call, he is literally asking where Meg is at in the hospital. If there was somebody that tried to shoot somebody and harm somebody or try to kill somebody, first things first, you wouldn't answer their phone call. Second of all, you wouldn't tell them what hospital a person is staying at. And then after he did that, he was like, hey, you got my driver's number, you got my security's number, call him and see if there's a way he can bail me out of this shit. It was weird, man. It was weird. The phone call was a phone call, but you had his legal team put this information out, and they, you know, continued to hammer down on the fact that there was new evidence to prove Tory's innocence. Now, after Tory was able to speak again after being on the breathing machine from his attack, he let everybody know that he was grateful for the, you know, prayers and well wishes, but he also wanted to make sure that people knew he wasn't going to stop trying to push for his innocence. What happened was, after days of people talking about the situation, Meg decided to leave a comment addressing this entire thing. She said, at what point are y'all going to stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? At what point are Tory and his fans gonna stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? 1 minute him and y'all said I was never shot. Now y'all letting him play in y'all face again and say I was shot but it wasn't him. Oh, okay. I'm sick of this shit. Leave me the F alone. He ain't dare get on that stand and deny he shot me. And that was his choice because he knows he did that shit. I don't give a F about a blog or a bot. Why in the F would me, Megan Thee Stallion, have to lie on this MFer about shooting me? How y'all mad that the person that got shot? Facts are facts. He did it. It was proven in court. F the hate campaign on the internet. Tory, you shot me. Ain't no new effing evidence. Y'all been saying the same S for years. Tory, please leave me alone. You are a effing demon. I'm off this silly ass internet shit. Bye. Okay, so let me just break this down just a little bit. First and foremost, you said Tory shot you, but in testimony, not even just testimony, but in your recollection, you didn't see who shot you. And given the actual play-by-play given in court, you couldn't have seen who shot you due to the angle. Now, I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? We weren't there to see it. We don't have any actual footage of the actual shooting, so we can only speculate. And then to say, you know, how much is the check to keep harassing you? I don't think people understand, like, you know, certain things to me are easy cop-outs, like talking about how much is the check, or, you know, you don't care about bots. Bots has now become a thing where people can easily try to dismiss things that are being said on the internet. But this is a very public case. This is a very public thing. These are two very highly notable, famous individuals. So of course you have fans over here and fans over here that are talking crazy and saying what they saying. But for the most part, I think her putting this out here into the atmosphere that Tory is the one that shot her, she truly believes that he's the one that did it. But I just want to say, if there is now body cam footage, which is very questionable body cam footage of the night that she was shot, allegedly shot, there's video of her backing up into glass, if I'm not mistaken. Now, it's crazy because if this wasn't a narrative, that was already something that happened from the beginning due to what she said. Now, this is the thing. It wasn't an internet conspiracy. This wasn't something that people on the internet just conjured up because they wanted to believe she didn't get shot. This isn't something that Tory Lanez put out there to the public. She said that she stepped on glass. And when people saw the pictures of her heel, it looked consistent of being cut badly by some glass, by some sharp glass. Now, here is body cam footage of what people are talking about.
Hold your hands up. Okay? Come on, people guys here with their hands up, hands up.
Did you hear that?
All right, move back to the sound of my voice.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Hands up, hands up. Come on, people guys here with their hands up, hands up.
Now, this is the part. This is the part where people believe that she actually stepped on glass. Because as you know, when it first happened and they saw only aerial footage because of the helicopter that was outside, they were seeing her back up and they were seeing blood profusely coming from her foot. You can see like every step she took. It was like in a GTA game when Franklin run past a freshly shot up body and he run over it, and a couple steps later you see the bloody footprint. It was like she backed up and you could see the blood coming from her foot. And it only happened when she stepped on the sidewalk and she started limping. Now, when she got out the car initially, let's see if she was limping already before she got out. When she got out, before she stepped, because I think she stepped on it right away.
Okay? Come on, people guys here with their hands up, hands up.
Boom. She stepped on it right away. So you couldn't even say, you couldn't even really say if she was injured before this happened either, because she immediately stepped on whatever it was out there. Now, they are saying that the bullet fragments that they claimed were in her foot are now gone. Okay, I don't know the validity of that. It's hard to believe a lot of the things that are being said without having the proof in front of your face, the documentation in front of your face. But that's what they are saying. They're saying that the bullet fragments that apparently were in her foot are no longer around, which is a mishandling of evidence. I don't know if that's consequence for anything. I don't know. But this is this.
All right, move back to the sound of my voice. Keep your hands up. Move back to the sound of my voice. Move back. Keep going. Keep going.
Look, she's limping pretty bad because she stepped on some, or she's either shot or she stepped on glass. I don't know. You got to be careful with these types of things. Even though you can hear something and see something,
Show us your hands.
you have to be
Hold your
careful.
hands up. Okay? Come on, people guys here with their hands up, hands up.
It's the sound is so consistent with stepping on broken glass. Like, I feel like there was already a broken glass there. It might have been a Henny bottle. She's probably trying to drive the boat that night. The boat crashed. She stepped on that glass. I don't know. But nonetheless, we have somebody by the name of Anna Paulina Luna. she is a congresswoman who decided that she was going to take on this case and talk about the new evidence that is being presented forth to prove Tory's innocence. Let me read some of y'all comments before I go on. Let's see. Ray Smitty said, I wonder why he never stated I didn't shoot her. Look, it could be a few things. It could be that he actually did do it and he didn't want to lie under court and get a larger sentence, or he has this idea that he was supposed to live by a street code when you're supposed to preserve your life, my guy. You're not in the streets, you're in the music industry. And I get it, people, it's a thing with perception. Once you lose a certain perception about yourself, people treat you differently in the industry. That's why I don't like the whole persona thing, because it makes you stay in a box. You have no room to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing I don't like. So I don't subscribe to that. If you have to prove your innocence, something happened where somebody's claiming that you did something that you didn't do, you didn't commit a crime with this person, y'all didn't go and plot out some heist or to go and kill somebody. If something took place and somebody is trying to frame you, fuck a street code, nigga. Hey, that bitch did it, and I was trying to grab the gun from her and the gun went off. I don't know if he would have got jail time for that. Let's see. Hurricane JW said Megan deserve a rock bottom on an 89 Escalade. Holy shit. Extraordinary says, did Megan ever say what Kelsey's role was in the whole thing? Not really. Tasha Talk says, but people are harassing Meg. Now that's another thing. Regardless of whatever, I think if Meg was actually shot, she was a victim of something. So regardless if she believes it's Tory or regardless if she believes it's Kelsey, if she was shot in her foot, she was a victim of something. So because she's a well-known boat driver and she done probably slept around with a bunch of people, doesn't mean she deserves to get shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that. But do I believe that Tory was the one that, you know, sat up there and stood there and pointed a gun at Meg and said, dance, bitch? No, I think that drunk people got into it and a gun was pulled and there was a struggle for a gun and it went off. But yeah, that's how I feel. Tasha Jones said, niggas desperate, his leprechaun looking ass did it. Man. Let's see. Tasha says, street code for Kelsey, what is she going to do? It's not even about that. It's about his perception. See, that's what I was saying. It's about the perception. It's not about him being scared of Kelsey or scared of what might happen if he told on Kelsey. He's scared about what that would make him look like to the public. You know what I'm saying? These guys have an ego. These guys have a reputation to uphold when you talk a certain way in your music or you try to feed off this perception like you tough. And also you got to remember, Tory Lanez has short man syndrome. This is another reason why I feel like I'm on the fence with, I'm not somebody who totally doesn't believe that he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you my theory because I feel like I'm giving the most realistic analysis of the situation of what could have possibly happened. You know, there's no motive like that. What would be the motive? They said it was because she started talking about his music career. That is not grounds to pull. Like this is another thing. And you gotta see this. His past instances where he's gone at people or tried to have or had an issue with somebody, he was ready to fight. He was throwing fists. He never jumped to, I'm gonna shoot somebody. He went immediately to fists. There's videos of him walking. He went in the Travis Scott's trailer. Hey, we could run the fade right now. He went, I forgot who else he was beefing with. There's a whole bunch of different people that he was beefing with that he is on record either squabbling with or asking to run the fade with. He doesn't strike me as a type of person who immediately grabs it. And then on top of that, over talking about his music career, I don't believe that that was enough for him to want to shoot at somebody. What is enough for somebody in their mind to want to pull out a gun and try to shoot somebody is finding out that the person that they were sleeping with is now sleeping with your best friend. Emotions may take over in that instance, especially if you are drunk. So if Meg was shot, I believe that there was a struggle for a weapon, and Meg was somebody who was harmed in that instance. But then you see video of body cam footage of her seemingly stepping on broken glass, and you have to ask yourself, what is going on? And then you see that they're saying that the bullet fragments that they had taken out of her foot are no longer there. Where are they? I think those will be the most important pieces of evidence in this entire trial. It'll be the most important evidence because there is speculation if she got shot or not. If there was speculation that she was shot or stepped on glass, you would think the most important piece of evidence that they took from her would still be around. I don't know. It's weird, man. It's a weird case. Tasha's Talk says, oh, we got 2 Tashas in here. Appreciate you, Tashas. Y'all some Tashas. She said he slapped the shit out of August Alsina and lied about it, so he's not above lying. Yeah, but you also proved my point that he slapped the nigga, so he once again used physical force. He didn't shoot at August Alsina and say that he didn't do it. Now, if that was the case, then yeah, we should be on top of his head. But that kind of proved my point that once again he pulled up using fists. He didn't use any weapons. That's just I don't know. But once, like I said, I'm not on either side. I'm just trying to figure it out like everybody else. Now, what this woman is now saying, Representative Anna Paulina Luna. This is on the grounds of the Tory Lanez case. She said Tory Lanez has filed a direct appeal, habeas petition, and a successive habeas, all now consolidated by the California Court of Appeals. They have seated a panel. Oral arguments are coming. Pause. No diddler. This case is far from over due process matters. Tory Lanez was sentenced to 10 years despite having no prior record, largely due to a firearm enhancement law now under scrutiny for racial bias. Black defendants face a 92% higher rate of this enhancement. That's not justice, that's discrimination. The forensic evidence, the forensic evidence in the Lanez case was deeply flawed. 0.01% chance his DNA was on the firearm, 0% on the magazine, no fingerprints, DNA from 4 individuals found. Tory wasn't a primary contributor. Key gunshot residue test never performed on others. This raises serious doubt, which is a thing, which is why I believe that he was stupid as fuck to not want to get on the stand or even try to push for that. His legal team should have been pushing for all DNA to be processed on that weapon, even the driver. There's no way that Kelsey's DNA shouldn't have, or her gunshot residue shouldn't have been tested with Kelsey Harris, especially now that they're saying that she was the one that did it. They should have did this in the beginning, which is why I also can't feel bad at the position he was in, because he made some huge, grave mistakes. Like, the obvious should have happened and he didn't do it, and it made him look even more guilty. Newly surfaced body cam and medical records show Meg Thee Stallion initially claimed she stepped on glass. ER records show no bullet fragments on x-rays. Bullet fragments allegedly removed are now missing. Evidence handling was a disaster. So that was some of the information I got that from, was the bullet fragments allegedly being removed are now missing. Under California's Racial Justice Act and recent legislation limiting the use of rap lyrics and character evidence, Tory Lanez deserves a full review. His conviction was built on outdated and unconstitutional grounds. Tory Lanez's trial included prosecutorial misconduct, exclusion of mitigating factors, use of protected speech, rap lyrics, tattoos as evidence, witness, contradictions, immunity deals with unclear motives. This is not how justice is supposed to work. Key witnesses changed their stories or contradicted themselves. One admitted in court she lied in a DA interview. Another gave a sworn statement that Harris admitted to firing the gun. This case deserves fresh eyes and full transparency. Tory Lanez conviction and sentencing raised major constitutional concerns. First Amendment use of lyrics as evidence. Sixth Amendment right to confrontation. 14th Amendment equal protection under racially biased enhancements. These issues demand urgent review. Justice isn't served when due process is ignored. Evidence is mishandled and race plays a role in sentencing. Tory Lanez deserves a fair hearing, and if justice prevails, he deserves his freedom. Now, I know some people are going to say, how is race going to play a part when this whole entire situation has to do with not just a black man, but a black woman as well? And also the narrative that black women are, it's not even a narrative, it's the truth. Black women are the most disrespected human beings in this country. It's hard to pull the racial card in this when they're giving a black woman justice. And I know that's in the detriment of seeing a black man go to prison, but also you can't, I know people out there have their opinions, and I know there's people out there that support Megan and, you know, believe that Tory really did this. But when you see things like this and when you read these things, you have no choice but to actually take into consideration the things that they have set forth. I'm not, once again, saying that Tory Lanez did it or didn't do it, but these things are to be considered. I mean, mostly the forensics, when it comes down to forensics, if you're somebody who, like Meg put in her statement, the courts proved this. Okay, the courts proved it, but the way that they handled the case, the way that they handled the trial, it's okay to say that the courts proved it, but we're not going to sit here and act like the courts have never got it wrong or that they've never mishandled evidence. We're not going to act like that doesn't happen. But we're going to see where this goes. We're going to see what happens. She also made an appearance on News Nation talking to Cuomo. We're going to see some of the things she had to say. And then we're going to move on to what Corey had to say, because Corey had a lot to say about the Meg situation. He also put on blast Sean Holley, the attorney who helped represent Meg Thee Stallion in the Tory Lanez case, made sure that Tory got that 10 years. Also, she allegedly has some involvement with the situation with Corey and Christina Payne, who is out here trying to get Corey on a case where he allegedly assaulted her. So he has a vendetta against Sean Holley. We'll get to that in 1 minute. Let's watch this real quick and move on. Let me read some of y'all comments real quick, and then we're going to get to it. What's up, the Sheriffess? Appreciate you. She said, boy, the world has gone mad to think that Chris Brown is in prison up the road in Manchester is crazy. He just got bail, by the way. He just got bail. Hefty bail. Hefty millions, but he got bail. Tasha Jones says, the point was he gets violent and lies about it. That's a pattern. If he got violent and lied about that one instance, once again, you got to think about the variables in this situation. Somebody that's probably not trying to go to jail for assaulting a nigga who he got a problem with, he's probably going to say he didn't do anything. And probably because he knows that he's probably on ice already with other situations going on. He doesn't want to lose like brand deals, and he doesn't want to be known as a violent individual. So that's probably a reason why he didn't say that. But I wouldn't call it a pattern if he hasn't gone around denying all physical altercations. I think that was the one time he said that he didn't do that, and I think it was because it was in a public place, like in that I think he was at an arena or something like that, or it was at a show somewhere. Yeah, he didn't. There's reasons why he said that. The Islamic, what's going on, man? Appreciate you, family. Tasha says, so doctors can't determine gunshot wounds from glass? I don't know. Also, here's the thing. It's not even about doctors not determining that. It's about who has enough power to manipulate that type of thing. And we're not going to act like that doesn't happen. Because if this was any other situation where people aren't on either side and they're looking at how certain things are going down and how, people with power move, I don't think that it's out of the ordinary for somebody on her team, a Rock Nation or whatever the case may be, to be like, nah, yeah, like this is bullet fragments. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you put that in there because we gonna take this nigga out. I don't know. I'm just giving you some ideas. Herbert Freeman says silence equals guilt. Meg spoke her truth. That's cap. A doctor testified with x-rays. There was an operation done to remove the fragments. Well, I just want to know if the fragments are gone or not. It's gonna, matter of fact, if they presented these fragments and totally dismantled the claims that they're gone, oh, you better believe I'm automatically now I have my definitive answer whether or not Tory did it. At that point, it's no question, because if your legal team is lying about bullet fragments being missing to try to push a narrative that there's some type of conspiracy behind you, oh yeah, you are the demon she's claiming you are. You know what I'm saying? Stoney James says, we all know this trial was foul and they threw the book at him. No justice for FBAs in America. Hurricane JW said, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I think they create these cases so black people lose hope in the system, but I've been lost hope in the system. Hey, that's true. Extraordinary says, the internet saying it's Jay-Z at Tory after Chris Brown and Rihanna, he start getting at people. Rumor is he got at DDG. Hey man, who knows? Stoney says, nobody talks about how he was bragging on beating the system as far as independence. Shortly after that, this happens. I did see that video too. Sheriff has said, or Hurricane said, they was playing CSI Corrupt Edition. The sheriff has said, if he is innocent and got stabbed up how many times in jail, I would sue everybody that put me in that danger. Yeah, I would too. Killer P says, what up, Doe GMS? What's going on, Killer P? Yeah, we about to get to this. We about to get to this clip real quick, and then we're gonna move on to what Corey had to say about Meg Thee Stallion. Listen.
2022, singer, rapper Tory Lanez convicted of shooting performer Meg Thee Stallion after a party at the Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner. Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Meg Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie, hits her. Proof? Testimony of Meg Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez. He's always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to 10 years, so this is really about the testimony. Lanez, so what happens? So he goes away, recently stabbed 14 times in prison. Many say it was a hit, okay? Because new evidence is about to come out. All right, a little conspiratorial, but he was definitely stabbed. Lanez supporters believe that the media doesn't care because Meg Thee Stallion is represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Now, I could give a damn about Jay-Z or his company. This just wasn't a case on my radar until now. Why? Anna Paulina Luna. She is a representative from Florida. You see her here on a regular basis.
I don't give a damn.
She says she's got new evidence, says it wasn't him. And she joins us now. Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability, and so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took a particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They were actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, First and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature, and also to someone that is as influential as he is, that's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think he'll get.
So Luna, who did it? I mean, she says, and her friends say, that he did it, and who else would have done it, and what proof do you have to support that? I get it. Maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
You know, Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is, based on the evidence that we have, the evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy. And so I do think that Gavin Newsom has some great attorneys that will look at this, but I'd also like to point out that the prosecutor specifically on this case that initially brought the charges is a very interesting prosecutor. Look into who ran him. And at the end of the day, you know, I think Hollywood, as you know, Chris, and politics does overlap, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. So look at the evidence for yourself. We've posted it for the entire world to see, to determine for themselves. And I know that Tory's legal team actually has an incredible case. And so we are calling on Gavin Newsom to issue that pardon immediately. And also remember, he was almost killed in jail. I actually talked to him today on the phone, and he said that once he does get out, once he does get this pardon, which I do feel confident that he'll be getting, he's going to work extensively in prison reform, because this should never happen to anyone.
Damn. So he might be getting a pardon from Gavin Newsom. Possibly. We'll see. That's if Jay don't walk into Governor Newsom's office with a suit, with a golden ace of spades suitcase full of hundreds, and say, "Hey, forget about that little nigga." You know what I'm saying? He said, "Forget about that little nigga." I don't know how to do Jay-Z's voice. His voice is crazy. He's like, "Forget about that nigga, young. Keep him in there." You know what I'm saying? Deport him. You know how Jay-Z like to move his hand? Deport that nigga. Get him the fuck out of here. But you know, this is what's happening now. We're gonna go over to what Corey had to say now. So Corey last night on the 5150 show decided to speak on this case. He decided that he wanted to make sure that you guys knew what side he was on, and this is what he had to say.
Lie on a motherfucker. What disturbs me, well, not disturbs me, but people who lie on people consistently, I don't think they ever think the truth is going to come to the light. I think that motherfuckers think they could tell a lie in a dark corner, and it's going to stay in that corner forever. Eventually, you will be exposed, whoever you are.
But when you get exposed, now wickedness is accepted. They said Meg Thee Stallion was sitting there drinking like she ain't bothered that these new allegations have come out that they lied on their brother Tory Lanez.
Oh, yeah.
And she act like it ain't.
Right.
Because this is somebody who, in my opinion, I've never heard nothing good about her.
Right.
I'm talking about people who know her. And I'm not saying I know a lot of people who know her, but I know Texas.
This nigga has a pattern for knowing people who know people and getting information, third-party information, to find out who a person is before he even knows who that person is. You can't tell. Bro, stop telling me how real a nigga is when all he do is get third-party information and then go on his platform and talk about it, then turn around and get mad at other people that talk about the shit that he be saying. Like, we're getting our source directly from the person talking. We are reacting to a person's direct quotes. This nigga will say, "Hey, I know certain people that know her. I don't know everybody that knows her, but I know a couple people from Texas who know Meg and say she's not a good person, so I'm gonna just go off that." But hey, if a couple people know Corey Holcomb and they say Corey Holcomb's not a good person, and a person goes based off that, now something's wrong with that person. Oh, Tony Baker says you always getting into some shit when you always getting into some shit and he don't fuck with you, but that was an issue because he doesn't know who you are and he just taking things off the internet. Come on, man.
From what I understand.
I know Tory.
Now, granted, that doesn't mean that Meg Thee Stallion isn't a bad human being. All right? She very well could be. I'm just saying.
You know who?
I know Tory.
Look, I tell you what. I met Tory Lanez one time in the Beverly Center.
Oh, when he said the thing about the name, when I messaged him.
You said Tory Lanez. A lot
Right,
of people say that, D. In your credit, a lot of people say that.
Well, I think it
they
sounds
read the
flyer
name.
too, though. I really do think.
Of course you think it sounds flyer, because you was wrong. But I'm saying, the brother walked up to me and he spoke to me and he was like, "What's up? If you need anything, just call me." I swear this is what he told me when I met him. That's why I've always been. I'm gonna tell you something, man. When women who are loose and project themselves as these housewives starter kit type bitches, when they talk, I get frustrated.
Housewives starter kit. Yeah.
Yeah, these housewives starter kit bitches. I be like, man, what is this bitch talking about? People be like, you ain't never heard this song? I was in the car and this bitch played some Meg Thee Stallion on my YouTube. I got so mad. I was like, bitch, you're throwing off my algorithm with this sucker shit.
It's gonna keep popping.
I don't listen to that sucker shit about what a bitch lying about. Bitch, niggas you. Somebody put you on. They got your face and body fixed up. You ain't You look like a boy bitch without all this shit on. Goddamn, shut the fuck up. And now I brought her up to make a point.
Now, he had a lot to say about Meg Thee Stallion. He also had a lot to say about a very well-known lawyer by the name of Sean Holly, somebody who has very vigorous issues with. Sean Holly has been somebody to represent many people. She did represent Meg Thee Stallion in the Tory Lanez case. She also was, I guess, legal counsel or tried to be legal counsel for Christina Payne, and I believe she was directed and given that suggestion through Tiffany Haddish, which is why Corey had an issue with Tiffany Haddish a few months back and called her out. Now, Corey is claiming that he has evidence, concrete evidence to prove that Sean Holly had it out for him and wanted to destroy his career. He's going to speak on that right now.
These motherfuckers did the ultimate lie, it turns out.
Man, there's so much in that case, Corey. Tory Lanez is about to get probably more money off a lawsuit than he ever made doing music. And they
Suing who? The state?
What? Check, man. You know
the lawyer that railroaded him is the bitch I was talking about. That was after me.
Remember I told you these people wanted him to call in and talk to you live.
We're going to have them call in and talk, not because all this came out. I had to make sure that my case was rock solid against the crooked whore. What is her name? Sean Holly. Right. I can't say her name like this unless I got real evidence of her doing wrongdoing.
Do you know
the bitch it's just I'm not rich as them niggas, but she still don't like my message. So the bitch tried to railroad me, and now you told me that stuff about the guys. Craig, I don't know if you noticed. I was trying to put together my case. Yeah. Now my case is together against this crooked, wicked lawyer bitch named Sean Holly, where it's going to drop. This bitch tried to destroy me.
JJ Havin said, like, when Corey got that third person information on Bill Bellamy and went off, then apologizing. Yeah, that's what happens when you take third party information and don't know somebody or know a situation, but feed off it. And it seemed like he didn't learn from that because all his information comes from third parties. The same person that don't like when other people, it don't matter who you are. You can be Darlene, the bitch that be sitting with him every week, who handles his business dealings, who been knowing this nigga for 10 plus years. If she went off saying that Corey is X, Y, and Z to other people and they say, hey, well, we got this idea from you from Darlene, he'll say, fuck what Darlene talking about. If you don't know me, then you can't have no position on me. Pause. But it seems like he takes a lot of his ideas about people and his judgment of people through third parties and also from what he sees on the internet, just like when people speak on him, because we're going to go to that too. We're going to play that too, because the way that he goes on these contradicting ass rants about people that speak on him and then tries to minimize the people like, oh, you know, these guys, they ain't got shit. All you've been talking about how these podcast and poverty niggas ain't got shit, but they be the main topic of discussion when you bring up people that don't that talk about you. Either they don't hold no weight or no power, or they do, or they bother the shit out of you. And you don't know how to deal with that. So you have to try to overcompensate and try to make yourself bigger than, like, we already know who you are. That's the thing. Like, everybody knows who this nigga is. It's the reason why they talk about him. We get it. You're a famous comedian. You have a cult fan base. You run a very successful platform And successful, I mean, a lot of people continue to pull up every week, but you have to call out your credentials because that's a self thing. That's something for you to feel good about yourself. You think that you're downing somebody else or that you're demeaning somebody else or trying to disrespect somebody else when niggas like me see through that. You have to talk yourself up like that because of the simple fact that you're in a position in life where you're not where you want to be, but you're somewhere farther than a lot of other people. You can't shit on people who are self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know you're in a better position in life than a lot of people that speak on you on the internet who are randoms, that aren't famous, that aren't comedians or athletes or entertainers or actors, just people on the internet talking about situations. But you have to say that because it's a way of trying to make yourself feel good about the situation. We're going to get to that in a minute, though. Let's finish this.
It's just nobody really believe that shit.
And you are, dog, you sharp. Because she got 2 niggas.
She what?
She got 2 niggas. She got him in jail, and I forget the name of the other dude. I sent you the paperwork. He got 3 Grammys. She got him in jail doing 5 years. She
Really?
got what? I sent you the paperwork on it.
I couldn't get into it then, Craig, because I was trying not to fuck up my case.
Yeah.
But now I have talked to who I need to talk to, and this is a scandalous, lying bitch. A lawyer is probably the most cutthroat motherfucker out there.
Man.
What they capable of doing.
Man.
Because what this bitch tried to do to me is just, it ain't a lot of money in robbing me. She probably just want to see me jammed up in the system.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. I told you, motherfucker, I'm a soldier of God. I am a soldier of God. When you try to get me, I walk right into the light and the motherfucker shit bounce off me like it ain't shit.
Oh, don't walk into the light, Corey.
That's
Why
a
not
call.
walk into the light, D?
It's the saying, you know that.
Oh,
Like when you fell, like don't walk in the light. If you see a light, don't walk into it.
that's your theme of life, D.
No, I'm saying we don't want you to go, silly. You know what that means,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Don't go to
yeah.
the light. We didn't.
This nigga be so quickly offended by the shit D be saying, man. He's so ready to pounce on D. I don't know how she still withstands all this, but hey, if you could take those punches, man, you can last forever, I guess.
I go to the light.
This nigga secretly hates D. You know what I'm saying? He just finds the value in her. Every time she says something, this nigga gets offended. He gets mad. It's like when she talks, it's like she's scratching the innards of his ear. He gets so irritated. Let's see. Let's see. What are y'all saying? Let's bring it up. Ray Smitty said he mentioned Kev on stage. Stands on this case once Tory was convicted. He brought up Kev on stage because he said Kev was one of the people that rejoiced basically in Kevin Samuels' death, and he didn't like that. It's funny though because I mean Corey was the one that was throwing jabs at Kevin Samuels and doing the comparisons and trying to throw shade before Kevin Samuels died, and then once he did die, then it was all of a sudden, well, I'm gonna start showing love. So we ain't forget about that, Corey. Anytime somebody brought up Kevin Samuels, he was on some hating shit when it came to it, and it was because Kevin Samuels was more successful than Corey was at the time. So clearly you see somebody that's kind of speaking on the same things you're speaking on, or you see how he moves, and then of course Corey's like, well, he's getting this notoriety and he's become as famous and successful as he is because he probably likes backdooria activities. And it was because of his mannerisms and how he acted. I still think Kevin Samuels was a little zesty myself. But, hey, we'll never know. We'll never know. I don't think any of his apparent secret backdooria buddies would have kept it a secret, given his stance in the space. Anyway, Sheriff has said, Corey is talented but toxic. He reminds me of some friends I had to let go because their lives were in absolute mess. Glittery Bubble said he chewed Darlene out just for saying allegedly to cover his ass. I didn't like that. Yeah, Corey's an idiot when it comes to stuff like that because he wants to be so convicted in his opinion because he doesn't take his opinion as opinion. He takes it as fact. So when he's hearing somebody say something, not even thinking about the fact that it could help him, somebody who already has been in like legal bullshit before, her saying allegedly clearly is a way to try to help save y'all ass, because it's not just going to be on Craig. he's on your platform. So that can come back on you. But he was, he like I said, anytime Darlene says some shit, he finds offense to it. Let's see. Can't have no position on me. Lady Hotep said, I can barely watch the shit anymore. He only talks about 3 things: gay shit, funky bitches, and how great he is. Yeah, well, I did read that comment last night. Somebody went in there and said, damn, I feel like I've been watching the same show over and over again. And then, of course, you got the dick riders who be like, well, get the fuck out of here. It's like, bro, why are y'all so mad at people that enjoyed the show at one point and now they realizing it's becoming repetitive? Why are y'all mad at people that want to enjoy the show? They get mad at that because y'all the ones that like to hear Corey repeat himself, and y'all like to hear the backdoory shit. Y'all like to hear the repetitiveness of what's happening. And then get mad at, then y'all come into my comments and shit and get mad at me for pointing it out. I'm pointing out the same thing that a lot of people see. We aren't brainwashed to the point where it's like, oh, we don't see what's happening. It is the same subjects every week. That's why I don't watch a whole 5150 show. I hear certain parts of it. I make my little clips and we discuss certain subjects, but we're not. This shit came a long way from sitting here literally playing the entire show on live to just random cuts of the show, because it really is repetitive, man. There's nothing you can predict what's going to be said on the next show. And it's possible 2 things can be true. You can be a fan of the 5150 show and also realize that it's repetitive as shit. This nigga be thinking people hate him. First of all, you got to understand too, this is part of the game. This is part of the entertainment space. Me disagreeing with what you're saying on your entertainment platform where you're just trying to entertain isn't a personal thing. Ain't nobody hating. Ain't nobody trying to see you lose. This is part of the space, man. This is YouTube. You are a popular topic. You are going to continue to be talked about from here on out because you are a popular topic. You feed the algorithms. If you can't accept you being a popular topic, how do you want to get to a certain point in your career that you speak of? You can't be mad at the people talking about you. You got to take it all. No diddler. Hey, that nigga Diddy had a nigga named the Punisher coming in the room. I know this is off topic, but nigga, when I heard that shit, I almost jumped out the window. Nigga, what? The Punisher? That nigga Diddy is sick, nigga. Anyway, let's finish this up.
The light actually comes on as I'm walking through the dark. When I'm in the darkest places, all I got to do is move forward, and I know the way will be shown for me. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm just saying, yeah, it was real with me. And I'm going to drop this case on this evil woman who, you even said it, she's railroaded people in jail.
Dog, from what I heard, I'm not going to say.
I don't know the bitch. I never met the bitch in person. But the evidence I have against the bitch, I want her to try to act like it's some fake shit. Do you know if you ain't got your evidence stacked right, them lawyers can get that shit thrown out of court before it even get to court.
Right.
So we had to make sure the evidence was stacked right. This is a lying, fake-ass bitch.
Man. They did Tory dirty, dog.
I heard what she did to Tory. And the reason, like I said, I didn't have all my evidence stacked. Now I got all my evidence stacked. I would love to talk to Tory's people or whoever those other people were you were telling me, because maybe we can all come together against this bitch.
Yeah.
Now, clearly he wants to devise a plan. Corey wants to devise a plan to get with Tory's legal team and get with Corey's legal team to try to combine legal information to try to actually take down Sean Holly. Now, it'll be interesting to see if they can actually prove that she has it out for people. We're talking about a seasoned lawyer. We're talking about somebody who really knows the legal system versus somebody who is only getting legal advice. Corey is not well versed on the legal system, and he's not well versed on the tricks of the trades that a lot of these slime ball lawyers consist of. And then on top of that, you have to think, whatever technicality you think you're going off of, he said he has all his evidence stacked. However you feel like it's stacked, just know that can be combated with relationships. If Sean Holly has good relationships with people in the system, there's no way you are going to take her down. That's a fact. It's a fact. If you know that the system is corrupt, What makes you think you are the holy grail of niggas to actually change that? That has been my argument as well when it comes to the Drake and UMG lawsuit. Nigga, Michael Jackson got taken the fuck out of here. Do you think they give a damn about a Drake? Before you get the one up on a whole entire conglomerate, an entity, a powerful company, a business that is worth billions of dollars, they will take you out. Stop thinking that you are above the system. You're not. Now, that doesn't mean that I want him to lose what's going on, because I do feel like there was something that people were kind of trying to plot on him about. I do feel that way. I honestly feel like whoever this Sean Holly lady is, due to Corey's subject matter and what he talks about and the type of ways that he's gone at people, that gives some people like her enough merit to try to go in and try to do something to get him up out of here. Because if you can't flag his channel or try to report his channel to the point where he take that platform away, what they're going to do is try to get that person up out of here. Now, it was all fun and games when Corey was under the radar with it, when it was just a little corner of 5150 and its, you know, in its fan base and people that only paid attention to 5150. But seeing as a lot of the things that he says go viral in different sectors of social media in that world, now you're getting more notoriety. Now more people are knowing who you are, and for the wrong reasons, which is also why he can try to contribute some of the people that talk about his show as people that are trying to hate on him or try to take him down. When all reality, shit, niggas been doing this shit. It hasn't been up until a couple years ago or so that blogs, popular blogs and outlets started taking Corey's clips and posting those up of things he said, not just random things he said, but things he said about certain individuals. And these are people who are well liked. These people don't know the behind the scenes. That's another thing. Like, that's another threat towards somebody's character and who they are. Because Corey could have some inside information about some people in Hollywood, but because the general public doesn't know these things and they just love these individuals for the work that they do, and they, you know, they love them because they're their comedian or their favorite actor or favorite athlete or whatever, they don't take into consideration that some of these things could be true. So it immediately makes him the bad guy in society, which also is a trickle-down effect, which is why Hollywood doesn't call him for shit and why he doesn't get certain big opportunities that he may deserve. Now, here is Corey going to talk about the people that talk about him via the internet. We're going to get to that in a second. Let me read some of y'all comments. Tasha's Talk says, but most lawyers are liars, or at least provide information to support their client's claims. They're there to represent their client. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That is very interesting. It's interesting you have that take and also have the take that you have about Meg Thee Stallion and that and how that went. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I do kind of wait for comments like that sometimes when I am going back and forth with people just to see where they stand. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you're going to respond to that. But just, you know, if lawyers are liars, or at least provide information to support their clients' claims, you got to understand how the system works. This is why I brought up the legal system and how we can't act like they don't mishandle evidence or mishandle the legal system or trial, whatever the case may be. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I Am Strange Peaches says, right, Smitty. Corey looked at his phone, was like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. He didn't even bother to actually read it. The Great One said 5150 show has been certified dookie since he fronted on Grady and Zoe. I stopped watching it when he fronted on Zoe. Corey showed his bitch colors during the pandemic. Yeah, it was a hard time, man. Maybe he should have got the jab. He probably would be a totally different person. He probably wouldn't have broke both his wrists. You know what I'm saying? He probably would have been superhuman. He probably would have had wrists made out of vibranium like fucking Wolverine. JJ Havin says, if Corey dropped this lawsuit, all the females he solicited for sex and said no going to come after him for abuse. Yeah, he better watch out for that shit. Glittery Bubble said, Los Angeles, California is huge. It ain't Mulberry, small town USA. That chick gotta be plugged to pull what she's been getting away with. Exactly. He said Corey needs a whole heap of sage. Extraordinary says, oh damn, I got the music off and shit. I didn't hear my background music. I was like, damn, where's the vibes? Extraordinary says, I used to hope Corey was just playing a character on 5150, but he may not be. I don't think he is, bro. I think it's convenient to use that as an excuse when he says certain things that may hit him with some backlash. Like, for instance, when he had to stop talking about Rick Ross because maybe some people might have got at him about that, or maybe the Steve Harvey shit, you know. There's times where people have made Corey shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of went under the guise of, well, I'm a comedian, I entertain, I say crazy shit. This is 5150. 5150 means, you know, psychotic or whatever it is. Black Gold said he's so toxic the sage might kill him. Oh my God. Let's see. All right, let's get to it. This is Corey gonna start talking about the people that talk about him.
niggas who can't even talk at podcast. Corey, who the fuck is this dumb motherfucker?
Hell yeah.
There's some dumb motherfuckers out here who are able to play in the same field as the elites,
Man.
and that's what's unfair. The guys who not even on the same level as you, they get to grab your content and destroy it.
What about
like I said, people who know how to talk and people who have some ideas and can carry out ideas. You know what I'm saying? I can respect what they do, but
that's cap. That's cap. You only respect what they do because these are the people that only agree with the things that you say. That's who you find to be the most entertaining, or the people that you can be okay with taking your content and using it to get paid off of it and to get views off of it. I don't ever see none of the Corey sexuals in the niggas' comments talking about, why are you using Corey's comment? Why are you always talking about Corey? These niggas got 100,000, 200,000 views, monetized, getting paid off of all this shit, but you don't see them getting mad over theirs because them niggas be agreeing with shit and they be going along with the shit. A lot of yes men go along, get along motherfuckers. Now, I'm not saying that specifically about the person who he's about to shout out. Now, Fawcett Media is actually really good at what they do. Fawcett Media is really good. So him getting a shout out was great. I think that's what Corey should have been doing for platforms that speak on this type of shit. You know, you're supposed to be the person, and not for every, you ain't got to do it for everybody. You ain't got to do it for specific people. If you don't agree with niggas, then you don't agree with niggas. I don't mean you have to just because they black or just because they have a platform and they speak on you. People like Fawcett Media should get recognized. I'm talking about the fact that you don't see a lot of it because the only time you do is when people see that you disagree with some shit, or that you're unmasking something or pulling down the veil of some bullshit that they fed into. It's easy to go back and forth with one of them hurt niggas in the comments because they come from a place of contradiction and hypocrisy. They get led by a nigga who will feed them a narrative that they'll go along with without using logic or common sense because that's their daddy. Now, you can have your opinion. It is what it is. But I know for a fact when I sit over here saying the things that I say, it gets under people's skin because there's logic behind it. Nobody gets that bothered unless there's been a mirror put up. And then not only that, you're not being holier than thou. I'm not sitting here acting like I'm better than anybody. I'll hold up the mirror to myself. Niggas getting mad now because I say I don't give a fuck about that phone call shit. I'm like, because that shit wasn't shit. He tried to make it shit. That was the only thing he could do. He couldn't do me like a fucking Black Babble. He couldn't say that I was out here diddling kids. He couldn't be out here saying he got some shit on me. Because you can look me up, public record, and see that ain't shit to look for. You're gonna find some music. You're gonna find some podcast episodes. You're gonna find social media. You're gonna see me posted up with my daughter. I don't know what. There's nothing that you can find on me that'll make me look crazy. But there was shit to find on other niggas that hasn't been addressed yet, which is insane. As much as this nigga's talked about it, he's never addressed the niggas that's around him that have weird cases. Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, gooch.
It's some dumb motherfuckers out here. Them motherfuckers be on the 5150 show before the 5150 show is even all the way done.
Right.
And it is so hard to deal with them motherfuckers, man. I be like, look at this dumb motherfucker. Got pictures of me, and some of them don't even like me. Yeah. But my picture is all over their page. Yeah. What does that say? Like, Jesus Christ, motherfucker. You think the worst of me, but you got me all over your page. Oh, it's motherfuckers. Watch this show.
Because there's a lot that don't.
The homies be calling me, telling me, man, I don't even look at that shit no more. Like, I be thinking this your shit because they got your picture all over the shit. It's this one dude. I'm trying to find his shit because he is an example of somebody who does reactions, but he has wisdom. Some of it's about 3-4 of them out there with wisdom. The rest of these dumb motherfuckers can't even talk. Corey, what do you mean by that? Mr. Gaiman, I'll be like, man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I be blocking so many motherfuckers. That's why motherfuckers be like, you didn't see what so-and-so said? I blocked all that shit. Them motherfuckers been saying that same shit for years, and them motherfuckers have not updated nothing because they're not going anywhere with their little bootleg show that has no production value at all. Ain't nothing even edited or nothing. They just play my show and be like, I think he knew him, and I saw him, and I be like, man, who the fuck is this dumb motherfucker, man?
His are funny as hell.
This is the dumbest motherfucker I ever seen in my life. Some of these motherfuckers, man. Okay, yeah, it's this one dude. I give him credit. His name is Fawcett Media. He does reaction videos to a lot of things, but it is my opinion that the guy at Fawcett Media knows how to talk and project points to the audience that is something that sounds like he got some sense.
Right.
But I'm telling you, man, some of these guys, man, I be wanting to say, oh my God, will you stop chopping up my video? How many pictures can you find of me? These motherfuckers must got the access code to my phone.
I was like, somebody hit me up like, hey man, what you gonna say? Like Corey was taking jabs at you. Y'all realize I am not the only person who talks about Corey. I'm also not the most popular person who talks about Corey. Trust me. I see the channels, I see the videos. I don't do half the numbers that some of these guys do. I may get under niggas' skin because it's been some years, but trust me, it's a lot of people that he's talking about. He is pointing at everybody though. I'm not saying that he's not talking about me. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that he's talking about. It's not just one person. If he was being specific, put a name to it. You want to know why I don't think he'll put a name to it? Because then he'll have to revisit some things, and then people would have to come here and hear about some of the shit that goes on behind the scenes. I don't think he listen. There's shit that y'all don't know about, man. There has been people that have sat back and watched my channel for some time that y'all wouldn't believe. There's people that have hit me up behind the scenes, hit me on DMs. I got an email like a month ago from a certain platform. Y'all would never guess, asking me about certain things. Now, I don't know a lot about things. I just be giving my opinion off of what I see on the internet. So I'm never gonna be the person that puts myself in the internet on the internet, or put myself out there as a person that tries to act like I know shit, or try to put narratives out there, or try to feed into some shit where people, because that's why I said I do believe that there is something going on where people are trying to take him down, because behind the scenes people have reached out to me about shit. So that's why I believe that. And he is extremely lucky that I am somebody that actually doesn't hate this nigga or want to see this nigga fail to the point where I'd actively participate in some shit that will take him down. We're talking about things that happen on the internet that he said, or different confrontations that happen within the 5150 realm, whether it be with, Marcus or Godfrey, Zoe, anything going on, Craig, like anything that has to do with the 5150 realm, and there's like something public happening, we're going to speak about it. But I'm never going to find myself in a situation where somebody's trying to reach out to me and I try to participate in trying to take him down. Y'all wouldn't believe the few people that have issues with Corey who saw a certain episode of me calling somebody out who is close to this nigga and wanting me to speak on that on their platform. that shit would have went out of here. I said no. As a matter of fact, I didn't respond because I didn't even want it to be in the realm that I even entertained it. So I didn't even respond. They were trying to put like, because they got, I'm gonna tell you like this. They got timestamps of certain things Corey has said, like jokes that Corey has made about underage girls and all the way to up to age 8. Now, Corey does dark humor. Does that mean that certain jokes like that are funny or you can find it funny? It's subjective to the listener. To me, I don't find it to be funny because it's just weird. But nonetheless, I understand that these are jokes too. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's that type of person. But they'll try to put that hand in hand with people that is connected to him and who he's close with. Somebody saw an episode where I put something on blast and I exposed some things. They wanted to use that a part of their platform and bring a bigger light to it. For one, that breeds a lot of shit. I'm not dumb. I do care about my safety and the well-being of me and my family. Not to say that somebody would do something or even be successful. You just never know. You never know. You gotta make sure you stay smart when you are in this space as well. I even thought about that when I put that episode out. I was like, this could bring some shit. It could bring people to, it could bring somebody to try to cause harm. Because once you start putting certain things on people's jacket, it looks a certain way. But hey, if the proof is there, the proof is there. You know what I'm saying? Don't blame me, blame yourself for being a weird nigga. But they wanted to use that episode, they wanted to amplify that, and they wanted me to be a part of it, to talk about it and speak on other things that happened in the past. I just didn't do it. And I'm telling you right now, niggas better be lucky that I'm not that type of nigga and I'm just keeping it content as far as just speaking on what I see publicly. I'm not a malicious nigga. I don't be out here attacking motherfuckers. I don't be out here acting like I'm better than nobody. I just tell it how I see it from my opinion, from my perspective. And if people fuck with it, then they do. If they don't, they don't. I'm never going to tell y'all who hit me up. I'm never going to tell y'all. I'm sorry. I love y'all. But I can't do it. Just know that it's somebody that all of you know. And every single one of y'all would have been like, because it would have been a wrap in so many ways. You talk about somebody who want to destroy you or take you down, that would have did it. Because it's not just that information I have on somebody who you're close with, but there's several people that have hit me up behind the scenes who know this nigga specifically and wanted to try to push some narratives or try to put some shit out there. I also don't deal without evidence. So if you come to me saying that, oh, Corey did that, or, he did this shit, or I got this information, or he treated me like this, I'm not going to put that out there. You can't just tell me something and then I run with it. That's like the Detroit lady. When she came to me trying to expose Corey and she started saying a whole bunch of wild shit, I took it upon myself to speak on it because I wanted to expose that. Niggas thought that I was trying to make a peace treaty. No, I was trying to nip something in the bud before it got to who the person that probably hit. The person that hit me was probably somebody that was gonna hit the girl from Detroit and get that story amplified and then push a narrative to make people believe that Corey was trying to actually scrape somebody or force somebody to do something and try to put a whole bunch of stuff on blast. Niggas better be glad that I don't actually hate niggas. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, I spent too much time on that. This is stuff that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to leave people up to speculation. But this is real shit that has happened. This is shit that has happened to me, and there's no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it. I'm not that type of guy, so I'm not gonna participate in it. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, let's get to it. We have to talk a little bit about this Diddy situation. Let me see. Let me put this out of the realm. Can y'all hear me? Why does it look like? Am I delayed? Am I delayed? Am I tripping? What the hell? What the helly? I am Strange Peter says, I know exactly what GMS is talking about. He has made some weird dark humor jokes about the autonomy of underage girls. Yeah, it's just yeah. And they wanted to take those and then basically put those in the way that made him look bad. And I was like, nah, we're not gonna put the pedo jacket on Corey. I'm sorry, I'm not participating in that. That's wild. Glittery Bubble said, let me find out there's a surviving Corey Holcomb in the works. I don't think that'll be successful because this nigga's not out here trying to play brother love. He's telling these girls, hey, I only fuck on you because you in poverty, and I want to make sure that you only get enough for me to where you keep coming back. And I, like he's being straight up about it. So anybody that comes out and tries to push a narrative, it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be very hard. Let's see. Money Mar, my favorite Corey Glazer. He said, GMS, you have to admit that your channel has developed into a 5150 Corey hate platform now over the years, where goofies feel this is a safe space to hate on Corey every time you do content on him. That's facts. Nah. A lot of these guys are fans of Corey and they enjoy his content. But also, it's a place where I think a lot of people who don't do what you're doing, come here to do, is actually have a conversation. And anybody that doesn't agree is a lame because he told you that. And I think a lot of your talking points come straight from things that Corey has said because you go with that. So anybody who doesn't agree or has an opposite opinion of Corey is a hater. Anybody who doesn't agree or thinks that he did somebody wrong is a hater or a lame. These are things that he says to you guys, and you guys regurgitate that shit in the comments. You can hear a lot of the things that I just said that were in favor of Corey, but you dismiss that. You dismiss that. And now you only focus on the things that people are reacting to in the chat. So, look, you can't be the person making any judgment when you have never once had an objective opinion about anything that has been said on this platform about Corey. Things that were cut, dry, and clean evidence of, hey, this nigga did some foul shit. You still will find a way to exempt this nigga of wrongdoing. That is telling me that you don't necessarily have a mind of your own when it comes to this specifically. And I get it. You are a avid 5150 chat room goon. I see you respond to a lot of comments because you think that this is a space, but people be saying this in his comments. This isn't the space where people come to hate. People say exactly what they say here on his platform. So you can't say this is the space. That's the space. It's just when I speak on certain things and highlight certain things that people are saying and that I see, they come here and they voice that opinion as well. You know what I'm saying? He said, you good, you just hide. No, I think I had the screen up too long. JJ haven't said both, but both Precise and Marcus said they never seen him with any females on the road. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But he does say he be smashing shit on the road, so I don't know. He could be having these girls meet him back at the hotel. I don't know. Hurricane said, we are objective over here. We call it down the middle. That's true. Jeff Big Jeff in the building, man. What's going on? Jeff Brown is here, man. Jeff TV. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to him, man. What's going on, He said, please remember our conversation a while back about dude. This is the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. This is why all this is just entertainment. It's actually fun to go to have those conversations. Money Martin knows I don't. He knows that I fuck with him, but he knows that I'm not going to allow like the hive mind bullshit. Like you can't. All this shit can be dispelled. Like that's why I do respond to it, because like I said, it's not built out of logic. It's built off of the idea that somebody else is feeding them. He puts the narrative out there, and then they run with it because that's the cool thing to do, because they find him to be cool. They look up to him, so they have to, you know. Justin said, hey, I'm a big fan of Corey and Godfrey, and they both do FS. But it doesn't stop me from being neutral. There you go. Extraordinary said, Corey make a lot of good points on how black people are treated in America, etc. However, he do be on the gay-ish too much. That is true. Money Mar, he says, nah, I'm completely objective. Your entire chat is now filled with 90% people who think Corey is corny and show was better with Zoe and Grady, but nobody in here watches Zoe-ish. You don't know that? How do you know that? Do you be over there watching Zoe? Do you see who be in the chat? Or do you assume that because Zoe doesn't have the same numbers as Corey? You see how this is like stuff that's easily, like it's the place that y'all come from is totally a different place than logic. You can't say you're completely objective if you've never had an objective opinion in here. That's delusion now. That's delusion now. You can't be the person that says you're being objective when the only thing people have ever seen out of you, especially me, is only you defending Corey. That's not being objective. That means that you are here to defend Corey, which is fine. You obviously is fine. You've been here for a while. I don't, you know I don't have a problem with that. But I will not let the delusion live on. I can't do it. I can't do it. That is delusion, my guy. And then you have people in here saying the same thing in his chat. You didn't respond to that. I gave you a direct response of an example of why this isn't the place. And also I know for a fact that that happens because when I'm in that comment section, I see you under multiple comments responding to people that have a negative thing to say about 5150. You take up for him at every corner. I see it, bro. This is YouTube. I pay attention to everything. You probably don't know that I know this. You probably don't know that I've seen a lot of things that you said. Money Mar, I know your comment style. I see it on a regular basis. I'll tell y'all right now, if y'all go over to 5150 show right now and go in the comment section, look for the first comment. Before he goes to delete it, look for the first comment that has something negative to say. I bet you Money Mar is going to be in there. I promise you. That is loyalty, man. That's one thing we could never speculate about Money Mar. That is loyal. You are loyal to the goddamn soil. Simo said, who can admit 5150 has lost its substance? I've been watching since Dragon Breath Chris with the Wednesday uploads. Brett Boyd said, do you see Craig on the Country Wayne skits? Oh, no, I haven't seen that. Shout out to them, too. I seen a video recently, though, of Corey and Country Wayne backstage somewhere. They look like they on good terms. I know people try to say that there's like a beef there, but I don't think there's a beef there at all. As a matter of fact, Country Wayne stopped to talk to Corey. So, yeah, no, I think all that shit is a myth. Killer P said, I've watched Corey for years, but have to admit it's getting repetitive. I'm still a big fan, though. Salute to your unbiased opinion. Yeah, shout out to that, man. I still watch it sometimes just for the entertainment factor. Like, I got to. You know what I'm saying? I talk about it, so I watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that's another thing. Niggas be like, oh, all you do is talk about Corey, but you hate on him. It's like, bro, y'all niggas be confused as hell. Brett said, did you hear Donnell Rollins say Corey is not on Dave's level? Yeah, I did. And I mean, I'm a Dave fan, so I'm not gonna argue that. I believe the same thing. I don't think he is on his level comedically or obviously career-wise. So yeah, sorry. He says Zoe having 63 people in the chat. Yeah, but do you see the same names in here that you see over there? You didn't answer that question either. Kind of escaped that. Once again, another thing you escaped. Gotta answer these questions, brother. JJ Havin says Zoe's show is just extremely slow. He needs a comedian next to him. He used to have Grady and Corey come on the show time and time. That's when his show is good. Jeff said, if numbers impress you, understand that McDonald's sells more burgers than Ruth Chris sells steak. Smooth Rick said the 5150 show has become a place of negativity. It used to be somewhat intellectually funny. Yeah. That's what it is. Who the fuck is Red, Black, and Blue? Get this nigga up out of here. I don't know who the fuck is Red, Black, and Blue. Fucking corny ass weirdo. Get the fuck out of here. Get this nigga out of here. Is that another Corey sexual mad that I'm talking about, Corey? Get the fuck out of here. Fucking weird ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga. Shut the fuck up. Let's see. Oh, y'all responding to Money Mar. Okay. I was about to read a bunch of shit, but y'all responding to each other in the comments. Stony James said, I supported Zoe heavy and even bought his relationship dismount book, but he got disrespectful with me, so that's where I got out. When did he get disrespectful to you? He said, I supported Zoe heavy. What did he do to disrespect you? What happened? I don't remember hearing about that. Or did you mention that on this show before? I don't know. I don't know if I remember you speaking on this before. But refresh our memories, because I want to know what I want to know what did he throw verbal bows at you? did he throw verbal bows? What happened? Jared said, I remember RMC days with Poetis. That was the perfect formula back in them days. Yeah, I don't think it's versatile enough anymore too, because he used to have, like, you know, revolving guests. You know, if it wasn't like every week, it was at least, you know, every month there was like new guests to come on and speak. But it don't seem like that revolving. I think that's another thing that's a missing component, is bringing on the revolving guests, and like kind of bringing on those new perspectives. And it just was more interesting that way. I get that. Black Ghost says Zoe's show, if for the complex minded, it's not for you fast food thinking niggas. Okay. Terrell said, just because you are a fan of something doesn't mean that you can't offer a critique about it. There are plenty of Browns and Jets fans that will tell you their team sucks, but watch every game. Yeah, so that's another thing with me. Like, it's easy to label me a hate channel. It's easy to say that all I do is talk shit. But then you can't escape from the fact that it's a bunch of negativity surrounding the 5150 show. Is it not? Let's see if Money Mar agrees with that. Do you think there's a lot of negativity surrounding the 5150 show that Corey creates? Like, put the reaction channels and the blog posts aside. Do you think that Corey has a lot of negativity on his platform? Do you think that? Because I wouldn't have the objective opinions or the disagreements that I have with a lot of things that he does if there wasn't so much negativity surrounding it. There would be much more positive things to say if that was the basis surrounding his show. But he lives and breathes off of the label 5150. He has to do his style of comedy. He has to say the things that he says. He says his wild takes. You can't be mad at people that disagree with some things that he says, because he goes out of his way to say some wild shit. That don't mean that we don't agree with some of the things that he be saying. There's been so many times, especially if you say you've been watching me for a while, you know that this has been a place where people have come to agree and disagree. But since it has had a long stint of negativity, that's the most that people get to talk about, because that's what surrounds the show. Stony says, Zoe tripped out on me over a comment. It was a live show. I made a video called Zoe, what the F? Damn. Money Marshall, I've been watching you since before most of the people in here and know how this platform originally started, and it was just reactions to the jokes. Now all these dudes is crying, complaining here. Reactions to the jokes. See, now this is how I know you ain't been watching. I know you've been watching, but you've been seeing it from a different lens. This has never been a place where we just sit and react to jokes. My first ever live was based around the turmoil and drama that went between Zoe and Corey, and how I disagree with how Corey handled that situation. That was literally the first episode of the GMS show. It had nothing to do with us sitting back just to react to jokes. It's the reason why niggas have built the narrative that this was a hate channel, because I disagree with how he handled the Zoe situation. The reason why Gooch was in my comment section is because I was speaking on the Nick Cannon episode that got taken down. And I had my ideas of why it got taken down. I didn't mention Gooch. I didn't say nothing about Gooch, but Gooch felt the need to take up for his boyfriend and come into my comments and say a bunch of shit. And even then, the logic behind what I was saying didn't register to a nigga that be dick eating. So of course, he took it to another level that shouldn't have been taken there, because he was mad that somebody was catching traction talking about somebody who he is so in love with. You got to understand, I don't have animosity towards Corey or anything like that. I may not like some of the people around him or one person around him, but that don't mean that I am malicious or trying to be evil or trying to do shit, you know, to try to see him get taken down. It's just a lot of negativity surrounding the platform, man. But yeah, let's move on. I got to get to these topics because I got some things I got to handle today. Let's get to these topics. So we're gonna watch some of this. This is a video dropped by Fox. We're gonna keep up a little bit with the Diddy trial. They're asking the question, can Diddy go free? Defense lawyer, court reporter breaks down sex trafficking charges, because now you get to the point where people are like, okay, we're hearing about all the freaky shit Diddy was into, but when are we actually going to get to what he's being charged for? Because now it seems like they're just trying to paint this picture of Diddy before they get to the actual crimes he's being alleged of, for the jury to already make their mind up about this man. He said Chad a reporter now. He do kind of look like Chad. But people are like, okay, we get it. He did this, he did that. He liked getting semen rubbed on his nipples. He had niggas named the Pulverizer or whatever, the Pile Driver. What was his name? The Punisher. This nigga Diddy was crazy. We understand that now. Where is the charges? And how is he gonna escape that? Let's listen to this. The Kevin Garnett, when the Celtics won the championship. Anything is possible. That's what Diddy gonna do when he walk right out of that motherfucker. If they set him free, he gonna hit him with the anything is possible. I promise you.
He's going to go free. The defense is going to have to continue to
anything I want, I can get. Anything I want, I can have it. I am a beast. I'm a monster. You remember that video? He said, anything I want, I can get. Nigga, if they play that in the courtroom, he is shit. Breaking news. Chris Brown is free. They don't let the menace loose. He said, from the cage to the stage, Breezy Bowl. We gonna see what's going on with that. I wanted to talk about that, but I don't have enough information on that situation. But you know, Chris Brown was locked up because he busted a bottle over a DJ's head or producer's head, something like that. And they weren't trying to get him out of there, but he finally posted bail. and now he's out because he has to start his tour soon. So yeah, man, we're gonna find out more about that situation later on, but let's keep this going. Hearing about the Zoe situation, that one was easily discussed too. I know we're conflating subjects right now. We're gonna stay on the Diddy, but I do want to say this: the reason why I feel like the suing that Aries did that cost Corey $20K, it wasn't all the way on Zoe. Zoe does play fault because he should have, as a man, been more controlling of his emotions and his bodily movement and his elbows. But also Corey being somebody that's his platform and that's his space, and Aries is his guest, as well as Zoe being his co-host. He should have been trying to diffuse that situation. Corey wasn't trying to diffuse shit. As a matter of fact, right before Zoe gave him the bows of death, Corey was laughing and smiling and smirking and shit. He didn't take that as a serious moment. As a matter of fact, after the deed was done, the video that was put up afterwards, Corey joking about it and had the heavy bag with him and punching it and making light of the whole situation. Of course, he didn't expect the suit. He didn't expect him to get sued, but he played a part in the shit taking place. You can't control what another grown man does, but I would assume that Zoe and Aries would have had enough respect for Corey to say, all right, calm this shit down. I ain't trying to have y'all go back and forth. We don't need to do all that up here. Especially as the OG in the situation. He should have tried to diffuse that situation. Now, Zoe paid him back $10,000 of the $20K. To me, he paid back his half of his doing. That's my half. You take the other $10K hit because you invited this nigga up here. You allowed him to get disrespectful, and you wasn't even the one to try to check this nigga about being disrespectful with Darlene. It was me. And you over here smirking and smiling, trying to watch this shit unfold. You didn't interject. So it is what it is. Money Mars says Cassie was setting up and paying for the freak offs herself. The Rico is not going to win. Yeah, it's gonna. And here's the thing: regardless of psychological damage or being mentally abused, or like the mental aspect of a controlling relationship or being abused in a relationship, I don't necessarily think that will be enough to coerce an entire jury to be in her favor. Because, you know, I heard people like Charlamagne, like, you know, she's telling her whole truth. She's telling it all, even the bad stuff, the stuff that makes her look bad, which to them is a sign of her telling the truth. So at the end of the day, though, in court, it's about what you can prove and not about how you feel. And in this instance, it's not just Cassie's testimony. They got these sex workers up here talking about traveling to places to perform sex acts and getting paid for it. That alone is going to lock down the sex trafficking. I don't think people even really understand. You have the actual workers testifying that you flew them places and paid them. That to me is going to be enough for the jury, especially now, like I said, they're painting a picture of him already. So they're playing the video of him abusing Cassie in the hotel room. They're listening to Cassie's testimony about all the horrifying things that he was doing, all the nasty shit, and they're showing text messages of how he was acting, his controlling nature. These are things that have already swayed the jury's opinion. Diddy's not getting out of here. I think he has to prepare himself to spend quite some time in prison, because I don't think Cassie's testimony would have been enough if it was just her. If it was just her talking about it, Diddy would have got off. But it's not just her. You have people coming forward doing testimonies about different things. You're about to have Kid Cudi come up tomorrow to testify and talk about his car getting blown up. That's going to show the jury that this nigga's dangerous. And who knows what he's done in the past? Who knows if he's responsible for his baby mom's death? Who knows if he was responsible for Pac's death? Who knows if he was responsible for Biggie's death? Because if he was responsible for his own baby mom's death, who knows what he would have did to Biggie? This is the type of shit that is already been in the atmosphere. This is why it's kind of unfair, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to this trial, because I don't know how they found a jury that didn't already know about all of this a whole year in advance before they stepped up to be a juror. It's already a disadvantage for Diddy to go through all this shit. It's just gonna look even worse. I don't think he's gonna get out of this. So asking the question, can Diddy go free? No, he can't go free. I don't think he should go free just for simply having a nigga by the name Punisher come in and put in work. That shit was wild. That shit is wild. Zane said Kid Cudi better do the right thing. I don't know, man. I was having this conversation. Shout out to Mariah Sincere, man. If y'all don't know, or if y'all don't subscribe to Mariah's channel, y'all should, man. I'll be going over there, going live with her sometime. So make sure y'all subscribe to Mariah Sincere. She does some good work over there. We were talking about this situation, and I was just asking questions because, you know, I do want to know from a woman's perspective, because it does seem like a lot of this shit be happening when it comes to, you know, women, especially at a young age, and them not, you know, I guess having enough sense to not put themselves in a situation that later on down the line would be horrible for them. Like the signs were already there. So for instance, when you talk about her first initial meeting with Puff, she goes to the bathroom. She's dating somebody at the time. Matter of fact, it was Ryan Leslie, I believe. She goes to the bathroom. Diddy goes in the bathroom after her. He corners her, kisses her. It was so traumatic and so unwanted. She started crying. She felt so bad and wrong, and it just was nasty. All this other shit. She was like, she couldn't understand why that happened to her. Then after that first initial meeting, the second time you guys got together, according to Cassie, not according to random witnesses or according to Diddy. No, according to Cassie, the next time that they got together, Diddy reached out to her and wanted her to come down from her apartment or wherever she was living at the time to hang out with him. She chose to leave her apartment, go downstairs, get in the car with Diddy, and not only did she get in the car with Diddy voluntarily, he passed her an unmarked pill, unnamed pill, and then she took it. Now, I get it, 19 years old, naive, you just trying to progress in your music career, so now you're one of those people that's willing to do certain things to try to help yourself. But that's not, to me, that's not the smartest thing to do, or the smartest way to go about your initial meetings with somebody, and thinking that that is somewhere to be safe from that point on. I don't think that in anybody's natural mind that would have been a green flag. I think those are several red flags. But then those two meetings turned into a 10+ year relationship. I don't know. Jeff says, when white supremacy is done with its toys, it breaks them. Diddy no longer distracts the youth. They have no use for him anymore. Even celebs, we now distract ourselves, so stars are obsolete. That's actually the first time I've heard that take, which also makes a lot of sense why a lot of people have been getting taken down. Even if they are involved in some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not that much money left in the music industry, especially when it comes to rap. There's no money in it anymore. There's no real money in it anymore. So why are they having these top guys, these moguls in hip hop, controlling or getting a bag off of these labels when they don't need them anymore? There's absolutely no need for a CEO of a label. Like, niggas can be their own CEOs. You can literally go get an LLC, start your own label, be a CEO of your own shit, and go and purchase cameras and purchase recording equipment, studio shit, do all of that shit yourself without any label backing. As a matter of fact, once niggas got onto it to got hip to the fact that being independent is more lucrative than being in the label. Because it's cool to get your advance. It's cool to be like, oh yeah, the label signed me for 2.5 million. Yeah, they just put you in debt, nigga. They put you in extreme debt. You thought you got 2.5 million in the bank. No, they said, hey, you got to recoup this. And then niggas be sitting up there for months wondering why they not getting paid. Like, hey, I'm putting all this work in. I'm doing all this shit, recording and putting out these singles. And yeah, it looks flashy because y'all doing shit for me, but I ain't seeing no checks. I'm just going to shows and getting paid off the top. Like, I ain't seeing the millions that y'all signed me for. What's going on? That's because every time you make money off of their investment, they're taking that until you recoup. You better hope you are a recoupable ass nigga so that you can receive some type of profit from that deal. That's why it's way better to be independent and get distribution deals or get a partnership with somebody where you all come together to use each other's resources, because I think that's the best business deal when you are working with people. Yes, you all should be benefiting from the work, but getting signed to a major label is not nobody's major goal anymore in music. I don't know too many people that care too much about getting signed to labels. But yeah, Diddy is set, or Kid Cudi is set to testify against Diddy tomorrow. When that does happen, I'm gonna try to go live during the day so we can keep up with the things that are happening. I will keep y'all posted on that. Now, let's get to this. Because today is gonna be a nice little stream. I'm gonna read some of y'all comments before we move on to the next subject. Let's see. Stony James said, I don't think it's possible to find an unbiased jury unless you bring in foreigners. Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to do that. Money Mar said, lawyers lie, Cassie lies, courts lie, Diddy and 5. Tasha Talk says, speaking of Biggie, did you hear about Gene Dill saying that May stayed in the hotel the night Biggie passed because he was told that Biggie was being targeted? Oh, no, I didn't hear that. I'm gonna have to go watch that. Jeff says, she monkey branched from Ryan Leslie, a good dude by all accounts, to Diddy, nasty ass, no sympathy. Justin says, yes, I remember when you had Lotto and a pimp named Slickback on 3G's. Great episode. Extraordinary says, fuck with a broke nigga and have to work for yours, or fuck with a rich nigga and get trafficked. Damn. I think that's a misconception too for a lot of women that aren't already well off in life, thinking that they're gonna get with a guy that is well off and forget that this nigga has options. And I think for the most part, how the atmosphere is with relationships in general, there's not too many people that have longevity on their mind or being faithful or loyal on their mind, because their perception of relationships is that the person on the other end of that has some type of hidden agenda, or they may not really fuck with them like that. So in return, the response is that person reacting a certain way towards you. You may not even have that initial feeling about them. You may actually have good intentions, but because the atmosphere surrounding relationships, I was talking about that last night too, with Mariah. Like the atmosphere with relationships right now is that people don't trust in them. They don't believe in them. They don't see women as being trustworthy, and women don't see men as being trustworthy. They don't believe in each other. They don't think that love exists for real. They don't think that there's not a guy out here that won't treat them wrong or won't cheat, you know what I'm saying, or won't abuse them. Like putting out the narrative that all guys are abusers or manipulators or gaslighters, and you know, putting out the narrative that all women just want money out of you and they don't really love you. They just want what they can get out of you, and marriage is a scam. There's a lot of people out here that have a perception about relationships. So it's like inevitable that a lot of these things are going to break apart. You know, there's no long lasting relationships anymore between these new generations. It's just really not. It'd be people that you thought would last forever that end up talking about how it was hell for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You would never guess, because that's not the type of perception they put out there to the world. But it is, you know, it's the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Killer P said if he was willing to turn against Ciroc, which was paying him $500 million marketing, he would turn on anyone. So the big wigs got him first. Okay, all right, I see that. El Crablo said, "Where's the #1 Fruit Booty detective? Somewhere trying to figure out which backdoory of enemy he can create next." Grisha Gravy said, "Did GMS touch on Corey going off on Damon Williams because of a comic view slight from 20 years ago? Damon just posted a video about it. This dude Corey blames everyone but himself for this situation." What you talking about, man? What you talking about? Oh shit. What's going on? What am I missing? Okay, Damon Williams posted on Instagram. Let me take this off the screen. Damon Williams posted on Instagram, "Mr. Corey Holcomb, I apologize to you if I didn't help you get on BET's Comic View in 1997. We squashed this 5 years ago. I came on your show. I thought this was behind us. I wish you continued success. The end." Is that fake? Is that fake shit? Is that Corey being a fake ass nigga? Cause I'm pretty sure the Corey sexuals who defend Corey at every turn will call that some fake shit if Corey squashed a beef with somebody and then they went on to start talking more shit about the situation. Is that him being a fake ass nigga? Do you think, Money Mark? Do you think that's a I'm asking you the question specifically. Do you think that that's some fake shit? Especially if you was on video squashing the beef? Hugging a nigga close. You put your cheek to his baldy. You put your cheek to his baldy, man. Look at this. Look at that. You put your cheek to his baldy. You was happy. Nigga hugged the shit out of him. Squeezed his cheek to his baldy. Let me see if I can find it. Did he didn't post it anywhere else, did he? I don't even know if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. I don't think I can get on. Damon Williams. Let's get on his Instagram, man. Let's find it. Let's see if I can play this video. If I can't, then oh well. What the I can't get on? What's going on here? What's going on here? Let me see if I can get on. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and play it. We can go ahead and play it. Give me a second. Give me a second. I gotta make sure I find my login and password. I gotta log on to Instagram now on my computer, which I hate doing. But I want to make sure I see what I'm seeing. You understand? Let me see if this is right. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Is that it? I think that's it. Hey, I got on my Instagram. Wait, hold on. It says check. my email for a fucking code. Jesus. All right, give me a second. Sorry, guys. My bad. He said, nah, that's Corey personality. We already know that if he squashes it, that it ain't really over for real. Corey has always been two-faced in that regard. Holy shit. Hey, round of applause for Money Mar. Round of applause for my nigga Money Mar. I'm so glad that you have shared an objective opinion, sir. Wow, that was the first. That is a first. Shout out to you. All right, let me see. Let me use this code. 973. Hey, man, let me type the code. 3979. There we go. He said nigga streaming from Gotham City. Yeah, I know. There's fucking sirens and shit. Can y'all let me on Instagram already? Goddamn. Like, I just want to see this fucking video. This nigga is tripping. If y'all was to see my Instagram, y'all see so much ass. Don't even make no sense. Okay, here we go.
Too short for all the small shit. David Williams. Real talk, y'all.
A few moments later.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And this comic made sure that we were not seen by BET Comic View. And if this comic has the courage to say who he is, I would be shocked. I would be shocked.
So now I know all the producers. Now I know who is the talent coordinator. So why would I sit on that information? For one, what happened, people were sending in individual tapes. They're not going to watch all them tapes. But Diane Corder got me on Comic View the first time because she did a mass taping. So I did a mass taping. And from that taping, they probably picked 22 people from Chicago. Mm-hmm. And also as a promoter, if all these Chicago comedians got television exposure, so now when you come to TNT Comedy Hook on a Sunday night, it's Corey, Dion, D-Ray, Tony Sco, Kenny Howe, Sonya D.
Because this comic likes to act like a good guy. I'm a good guy. Everybody think Corey the bad guy, but this is a dirtbag motherfucker who's always done dirtbag shit.
How you go from putting your cheek to a nigga baldy to saying this about him? That's crazy.
That envious, jealous shit.
And then niggas say, look, Money Mar. Are you mad at this opinion right now? That this is some bullshit? Cause it's shit like this that niggas will point out, and then motherfuckers be like, "Oh, you hating? Why you always hating? Why you always talking shit? Why you?" But it's like, yo, this nigga gives so much great material. How could you not talk about this shit?
Because this motherfucker always hates to see the cream rise to the top. But
pause. You know who likes watching cream rise to the top? The diddler. The diddler. He likes when cream rises to the top so that he can scoop it off and rub it on his
They love to play good guy.
Here we go.
We still on this, man. It's 2025. We talking about 1997.
He got the FBA flag behind him.
So let me do this so we can get past this. Because I'm all about love and happiness, bro. If I did not help you get on BET's Comic View, I apologize. We good? Let's move on.
Like too short for all the small shit. David Williams.
It just is amazing. How do you go from this? Look at this. Look at this. This is a nigga that talk about backdooring niggas every week. And look at this. He definitely has got to be secure in his manhood to do something like this. Now here's the thing, man. Shout out to Damon Williams. He still handled it with class. He didn't try to go at him and call him no names and try to disrespect him. Something Corey cannot do for the life of him. But it's like, this is the reason why people have that opinion about you and why people move the way that they move around you. And the way that a nigga like Tony Baker don't even acknowledge you when you come around, to the point you had to walk up on him and say, hey man, what's your problem? Why don't you like me? The almighty God, Corey Holcomb. And the nigga said, nigga, you be in too much shit. I'm not trying to be involved with that. Shit is crazy. Smooth Rick said, Damon didn't age at all. Jeff Brown said, bruh, find 2 other people, especially comedians, black comedians specifically, that have anything bad to say about Damon Williams. They don't exist anywhere but in Corey's head. See, this is what I'm saying. You got good people with good rapport versus somebody who has bad rapport. So even if he was telling the truth about somebody, not saying Damon specifically, ain't nobody gonna take his word for it because of his rapport that he has already in the industry. Nobody's gonna take your word for it when people already have good things to say about somebody. You the only person with a problem with them, and then on top of that, everybody can see through that. You're not gonna convince people that already feel a certain type of way about somebody to feel differently just because you said that or because you had a bad experience with them. That's another reason why you still see some people in court supporting Diddy right now. They probably didn't experience none of that shit, so they have a view of Diddy that's a good person, so they want to try to get behind him and help him. Pause. But that is wild. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild, man. Shout out to Damon Williams. Let's get to this, man. Let's get to this. Ryan Clark has some things to say about RG3 after RG3 went on his show to talk about why he believes Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and their feud isn't just a basketball feud. She hates her. She actually hates Caitlin Clark. Now, after he gave that opinion, of course, a lot of people was like, yeah, RG3, you would really think that way because of your situation right now. You have a white wife, and you have always spoken up on the side of that, so to speak. Me, I'm not against, of course, I mean, people that know me know I'm not against interracial relationships. You do what you want to do. I'm not here to police you. I'm not here to try to make you do something you don't want to do. So I'm never going to try to base any of my arguments out of that. But he had good points. If you are somebody who has only dated white women and you only desire white women and you only see certain perspectives from that, from the I don't see color perspective, knowing damn well that this country sees color every time they look at a black face, you're not going to see things from a certain point of view. So of course, RG3 had his perspective. He said what he said, and Ryan Clark came back with this perspective.
We moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate, because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul.
I think it's funny how people be doing the think pieces when like a hard foul happens in women's basketball, or like specifically with like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. But like, we'll sit up there and make jokes and laugh all day when this nigga Draymond Green is jumping in the air doing 3 somersaults and kicking a nigga in his chest. Like, there's you can totally see the difference in how people react to this type of
competitiveness.
Shit.
That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think Asia Wilson is the face of the league. Asia Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now, if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how...
I will say one thing. If you are a Black man and you are dating somebody who is of the fairer skin, or you're married to somebody who is Caucasian of the Yakubian tribe, you must understand that once you start talking about Black women in a certain way and painting them in a certain light, you're going to look a certain way. You can't be the Black guy mocking Black women with a white wife. You can't do that. It's just not, it's not a good look, sir.
Important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I'd like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racist, he'll be no less Black than me.
And that's the one thing a lot of these niggas don't understand when it comes to people like RG3, when it comes to people like Candace Owens, when it comes to people like Jason Whitlock, when it comes to people like a lot of these individuals who think that they're speaking from a place of trying to be, oh, I'm the Black person who isn't brainwashed in society to think that racism is the biggest problem in the Black community, so I'm going against every Black person, but really I'm trying to echo sentiments and narratives of racist white supremacists on a daily basis, and because they love me and pay me so much to do so, I'm gonna actually sit here and believe what I'm saying is factual and it's doing help for a community, when you're really just sitting there talking shit because you know that on social media it's easy to get a rise out of Black people on Twitter and on Instagram and on these different platforms when you speak against them. It pays. But there's been several times where people have had to get that reality check, that black wake-up call, when they have to remember what they look like at the end of the day. Jason Whitlock had that recently. You sit up here all day. Whenever something happens with Black people, you're the first person to try to combat how Black people feel and try to combat some racism shit and try to make it about a Black person's fault or why Black people are the problem. And then once you got checked by a white supremacist who had to remind you that you're only in that space because they allow you to be, because of the things that you say about Black people, your ass tucked your tail and they shadow banned your ass for a minute. Because they had to remind you whose team you play for. We can cut the lights off on you, Negro. That's what I see when I see things like that happen with those type of people. Now RG3 responded.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
This is what he
It's your
said.
boy RG3, and I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport.
Saying another person hates another person, like actually hates them, is not a sports opinion. That's a personal opinion. Angel Reese has never once said that she hates Caitlin Clark. You've never had a conversation with Angel Reese where she told you, RG3, that she hates Caitlin Clark. Saying that she hates somebody is a personal opinion, not a sports opinion. So context matters, and the nuance matters. And you could tell that this nigga's not too aware. He's not too self-aware. You can tell that he wants to separate himself from his blackness because he's one of those guys that wants to try to mask it behind, oh, I'm a human first. Do you think the average racist white person in America sees you as a human first? Or 2/3? I don't know.
I didn't make it personal. But what that really shows is just how low of a person Ryan Clark is. But Ryan, cross the line, man. You made it personal and some. I really believe there should be no space in sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before. But certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Brian, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes.
Shut the fuck up, little nigga. Let me tell y'all something, man. RG3, like I said, is one of those people that are not too self-aware. He also took that as an attack when I didn't hear an attack at all. I heard a perspective about where he possibly could be coming from in his opinion and why he was saying the things that he was saying regarding Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Now, do I echo the sentiments that women and children are off the table when you are just having regular opinions about other things that don't pertain to your family? Yes. But also, this nigga has to be dumb to think that that's not the narrative surrounding him for a long time now. People see you and your wife and they hear your takes about certain things when it regards certain instances where race may play a factor, and they see how you handle those situations. So of course that's going to be part of the conversation. And when your wife is on camera next to you, whether she's talking or whether she's just in the background reacting to things that you say, she's not off limits as far as people speaking on her. Now, depending on what they say, yeah. But she's not off limits to be critiqued or spoken on. You put her in the light. You put her out there. You put her a part of your show, however you want to put her a part of it. She's not exempt from being criticized or to be spoken on in certain ways. You took it as an attack because you also hold on to white woman victimhood as well. The victimhood behind, oh my God, I'm being attacked, when somebody is just simply speaking with logic. You took that as now an attack, and now you're playing victim because you want to minimize what you said as just a sports take when it really wasn't. He's definitely in his feelings. But I don't agree with that. You have the people that want to take up for RG3, the same mixed master coons who don't speak too highly on black people to begin with, you know, like Sage Steele, the lady that literally leaned over on the table and had somebody grab her hair. You remember that? Remember this guy did that on national television? Yeah, you can grab my hair. Get the fuck out of here, man. She said another classless, divisive, gross, unnecessary comment from Ryan Clark, but it's par for the course. We should expect nothing less. Shameful. Who is we? Pay attention to when people like this say we. There's a specific we that they're talking about. Even Jason Whitlock, of course, he was going to get his greasy neck ass on the screen. Nigga look like he could hardly breathe right now at this second. He said Ryan Clark thinks that RG3 can't understand black women because RG3 has a white wife. He's implying that black women are some sort of special species that can only be understood by people that sleep with or are married to black women. Who does this? Classic way of twisting somebody's words and making it a certain narrative to fit your response to what they had to say that was based in logic and common sense. You heard what he clearly said. What he clearly said and what he was clearly implying, but you turn that into some sort of, oh, he thinks black women are so special and they only need to be understood by people they sleep with and marry. No. That's not what he said at all. And I'm not even gonna play because I hate his voice too. It sounds like Bubble Bass, the dude from SpongeBob SquarePants who hid the pickles under his tongue. This nigga sound like he got 4 pickles under his tongue every time he speak. Stop hiding them pickles from the Krabby Patties, Jason Whitlock. I know you hiding them pickles, man. The niggas was sitting right there and watched him. We watched SpongeBob assemble that crab. He ain't never fucked up a Krabby Patty in his life. And here you go talking about ain't no pickles on it. Nigga, it's under your tongue. Nigga, savor pickles like fresh Kool-Aid. How you got dill pickles, sliced dill pickles. You know what, man? Fuck this nigga, man. Here's Dave Portnoy, because you know Dave was mentioned in this rant by Ryan Clark. He responded. He said, Ryan Clark name dropped me in this wild RG3 Caitlin Clark rant for the billionth time. The reason Caitlin Clark fans like me don't like Angel Reese is because Angel has acted like a jackass towards Clark for years. Let's hear what this guy has to say, right?
Okay, I can't believe I'm ranting about this again, but everyone's still talking. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, racism. Ryan Clark made a video attacking RG3 the other day. In the process, name dropped me and Keith Olbermann, which is the biggest insult of all time. Like, don't ever put me in the same sentence with Keith Olbermann. Guy's a certified jackass.
When RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain.
You have race baiters on the left, race baiters on the right, everybody trying to make this rivalry about race. And yes, I'm sure there are some black people who hate Caitlin just because she's white. I'm sure there's white people who hate Angel just because she's black. But I want to...
Notice how he made sure to say black people first. Then I didn't see no, when this rivalry first happened, when all this stuff happened, when it first cracked off, black people wasn't saying, man, fuck Caitlyn because she white. No, they was saying, why y'all so mad at Angel keeping that same energy? Is it because Angel's black and she's doing it against a white girl? While you have people like Dave Portnoy at the time calling it classless, all types of shit. But he ain't never say the same shit for athletes in the NBA. When he sees them doing the same thing, these niggas celebrate every goddamn three-pointer every time they go down the court. Niggas grittying down the court in front of niggas' eyes. Every time this nigga Ant get done dunking and putting his nuts on top of somebody's forehead, this nigga walks straight up to him, look him in their face, and What you think Dave Portnoy said when he first saw Anthony Edwards doing this last year during the playoffs? You think he got on there and said, Anthony Edwards is just so classless? Shut the fuck up. We know what that's based in. Get this nigga off my screen. I don't want to hear that shit. Fuck Dave. Stick to pizza reviews, motherfucker. I hate when motherfuckers say stupid ass shit for no reason. Now, this may look like a glory hole, but it is not, GMS fam. This is not a glory hole. As a matter of fact, this was part of an escape plan for Orleans Penitentiary. It's a jail in New Orleans where a bunch of people escaped, and it was caught on camera. It's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life. The one nigga that split the pole, he the one that fell. He should have got caught immediately. It was like the white girl in a Scream movie trying to run away from Scream, and she just falls out of nowhere while everybody else is on their feet. How you fall? Everybody running in the same direction. Everybody running the same path. You the one motherfucker that got your foot caught on the one branch that was out the way. The one man that split the pole, he fell to his knees. These niggas decided to make it so that they can get up out of this situation. And now these niggas is getting caught. As a matter of fact, they started a bracket of all the inmates that have just escaped from New Orleans prison, trying to make a bracket about who's going to get caught, who's going to be the last person to get caught. They made a whole bracket. Everybody's betting right now. There's money on the table for the last fugitive to get caught. A lot of people have gotten their brackets fucked up over the past couple days from a few people that have gotten caught. It has probably been one of the most entertaining things to watch so far. Look at this shit. He said, too easy, LOL. This does look like a glory hole. I'm not even gonna lie. A glory hole in a male prison is fucking wild. This is fucking crazy. But here's one of them. So fourth fugitive. This was the fourth fugitive that was caught. This is escapee. His name is Gary C. Price. 21-year-old Gary C. Price. And you probably wondering, man, because they put out a ransom, basically. Not a ransom. I call it a ransom, but a reward. They said everybody who turns in one of these escapees is getting 10 bands, right? Now, what's 10 bands to a nigga that'll already snitch on you if he did the crime with you? Oh, he going for it. Which is why you can also see in the background the nigga that told on him. Making sure he solidified them 10 bands. Look at him. He already got a nice little gold chain around his neck. He said, I already went and got this shit on layaway, motherfucker. I got it out of layaway. I'm finna be 10 bands richer, goddammit. Get your ass out of here, Gary. Remember that time I left you in my house and I said, hey, I'll be right back. I'm just finna go up the street because I trusted you because you was my friend. And then when I came back, my weed was gone. Yeah, that's right, nigga. Take your ass back to the joint, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Give me my 10 bands. This nigga sick. In the shadows. Only got his face showing. This nigga, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. Then you got this nigga here. It said, plea for surrender. Aunt of Derrick Groves. That's another escapee from New Orleans prison. His name is Derrick Groves. He said the aunt of Derrick Groves, already convicted of killing 4 people, asked him to safely turn himself in. His aunt reached out and said, please, Derrick, turn yourself in before it gets worse for you. The nigga reposted it and said, I would have called my auntie private and said, shut the fuck up before you become number 5 and hung up. These niggas is not serious, man. Now, they already captured 4. They captured 4 inmates already. There are still 6 on the loose as we speak. 6 inmates still at large. But they caught these 4. The 4 are from counterclockwise: Kendall Miles, Robert Moody, Gary Price, and DeKeenan Dennis. His name is DeKeenan? Why you just name him Keenan? That's the shit niggas be talking about. Those be them stereotypes that you be talking about, nigga. You could have just named him Keenan. Nigga say, you know what? Put a D in front of that. You know what I'm saying? Make it unique. He ain't gonna be Keenan. There's a lot of Keenans. We're gonna make him the Keenan. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not all the other Keenans. He's not the 2, the 3. He's not the knockoff. He is the Keenan. He is the Keenan. Not any other Keenan. He's the Keenan. Fuck out of here, man. Get these niggas out of here. We also had this situation, man. I seen this yesterday. I was amazed by this. The reason why I was amazed by this because of the reaction of the person that Denzel was confronting. So Denzel was on the red carpet at Cannes Festival or whatever it is, whatever these rich niggas be going to. And during this, somebody reached out. As you can see, a hand right here. The hand of a slob. The hand of a person you would never want to look at face to face. This is the hand of somebody where if you was to be around them, you already know their breath consists of fecal matter. Like, you can tell this is somebody you would not want to have a conversation with, let alone let you touch them. And for some reason, he felt like he should touch Denzel to get his attention. Not only that, look at who Denzel is talking to. Longtime friend and collaborator, Spike Lee. You gonna take this moment away from 2 longtime friends sitting there catching up on the red carpet? They probably talk to each other on the phone, but they probably don't really see each other that often. And you felt it among you, somebody who don't know nothing about none of these niggas. Not a friend, not a colleague, nobody of importance to this moment, and you felt like you could interrupt it to say some weird shit. And then once he checked you for touching him, you smiled the entire altercation. You know what? Let me just show y'all. Let me show y'all, man. Don't put your hands on me. You see how you said that shit? Look how you said that shit. Don't put your hands on me. He's dead serious, and this nigga's just smiling, mouth wide open in his face. What are we looking at? This is a sickness. He's entertained by Denzel. Like, I don't know what this is. Either he wanted this confrontation, he's just so happy that it's happening to him because now he's the focus point of what's happening and it's gonna go viral and everybody's gonna see his ugly fucking mug. Or he's doing that weird, awkward, nervous laugh where he's getting told off and somebody is serious, but he's trying to laugh it off. Hopefully they'll laugh with him and then it'll kind of ease up the mood. But really, in reality, the person not easing up and they staying on your ass, but you got to sit there and continue on laughing and smiling like a fucking idiot because you don't want to look stupid as shit. I don't know which one it is, but it bothered the hell out of me that this man was sitting here smiling in his face and then tried to grab him again. He just told you keep your hands off of him, and look what look. Okay, he got to be on the spectrum. He gotta be autistic. Cause look how he just said yes. I'll grab you again. Yes, I'll grab you. Come here, I said, but how did? A nigga just told you stop grabbing him, stop touching him. You said okay, yes, and then went on to do it again. If I was Denzel, I would have hauled off and punched this fool dead in his shit. I would have gave them exactly what they wanted. This would have trumped the Will Smith moment because everybody would have felt like he was justified. I can't even explain to you the weirdness of that. Somebody is in your face at this moment telling you not to touch you. Don't put your hands on me. I told you. And he's sitting there like, yeah, yes, I'll do it again. Like, what was that? How do you not have any type of self-awareness? And first of all, how is somebody that has no type of self-awareness in that position? So close to people like Denzel and on a red carpet where notable figures are walking. How does he get into that position out there? I feel like they set these people there on purpose for that moment. Now you talk about paid actors and paid aggressioners and agitators, paid agitators. This is it. This is what I think be happening. They did it to Kelly Rowland last year. A paid agitator knew that they was going to do something. How is anybody involved in this process trying to block a person that's supposed to be there from getting pictures and getting snapped by the cameras, trying to rush her up the stairs? How is that even being allowed? As she's telling her back the fuck up off me, the lady's still walking up on her. How is that allowed? Something tells me they put her there. They be wanting people to crash out, man. And I don't know why. Views. Go viral. I don't know. But it just don't look right. Now, GMS fam, as you can tell, I'm in the like section. You know, these are part of the likes, and this is part of the show where I go to the likes in my Twitter, and you go to see some of the things that I have liked and I've saved for later days, as such as these lives that we are doing here. The last thing I'm going to show you on this, and I hope you guys are prepared. This is a video that I couldn't wait to show you guys. This is how I'm going to end the show today. There's a guy here who is outside of his uncle's house. His uncle has MS, okay? Pray for his uncle. Pray for his uncle. I know it's unfortunate to live with MS. I know a few people in my life who suffer from that. As you know, some notable figures who had that. I believe Muhammad Ali had that. A few other individuals. But his uncle has MS. What had happened was nephew got locked outside while uncle was inside, and he needed his uncle to unlock the door for him. This is how this went down. Viewer discretion advised. You might laugh.
Bruh, my uncle got MS. You know, I fuck with my nigga the long way, but I'm trying to get him to open the door, and this nigga keeps fucking falling back on the goddamn couch. I'ma need you to tap in, my nigga. You is right next to the door. Come on. That's why you need to exercise. God damn it. Shit. Come on, Unc. You got this. Come on now. Come on now. You got it, my boy. Shit. All right, now use the couch to get over here. Put your hand on the couch. Put your hands on the couch. Use the couch. Use the couch. Don't fall. Shit. That shit was the goofiest shit that could have happened ever. Don't fall. Shit. That shit was the goofiest shit that could have happened ever. My nigga. Oh, uncle, please. Come on, man. I believe in you, my nigga. I've seen shit. Pick your pants up. Fuck. Oh my God. MS is whooping your ass. God damn it. Oh man. We need to start doing some more exercises, uncle. Fuck. Come on now, boy. Come on now.
His encouragement is undefeated, though.
Please.
Even though he is highly frustrated, he did not give up on encouraging his uncle, because that's what you need to do when you helping out your family that got MS, all right? It may be frustrating, but God damn it, you gonna keep encouraging them until the deed is done.
Just use the couch when you stand up. Keep your hands on the couch. Keep your hands on the couch and use the couch to guide your way to the door. Uncle, please. Come on now. Yes, sir. Hit that hoe. Shit. All right, there we go. All right. Come on, man. Come on. You almost there. Please. No. No. You got it. No, he's slipping. He's slipping. Shit. Fuck. God damn it. Shit. It's okay, Uncle. I'm finna come, all right? I'm finna... God damn it. Yes, come on, you got it, Uncle. Shit, my nigga ain't gonna give up. Oh, God, what you mean, nigga? Come on, come on, please. You got this, man. Just unlock the door and I can help you up. All you need to do is just unlock the door. You almost there. Shit, it feel like my nigga dying. God damn. Come on, oh God, what you mean, nigga? Come on, please. You got this, man. Just unlock the door and I can help you up. All you need to do is just unlock the door. You almost there. Shit, it feel like my nigga dying. God damn. Dying. God, feel like my nigga do is just unlock the door. You almost there. Shit, it feel like my nigga dying. God damn. Come on, just reach up and unlock the door.
Oh,
you don't even have to open up the thing. Just unlock the door.
Feel like my nigga
Come on,
dying.
you got the uncle. Just reach your hand up and unlock the door. It's right here.
He did it. Hey, let's
my
go.
Nigga. All right, scoot over.
Round of applause for Uck, man. Round of applause for Uck, fam. You gotta clap it up for Uck. He did it. He did it. Goofy ass nigga, how you gonna lock yourself out when you supposed to be taking care of your uncle? Where your spare key at, stupid? Or where the main key at? You know he can't do much. He just sitting in the house. What you lock the door for? You need a key. You know this shit ain't gonna happen again. You know he ain't gonna be that successful next time. You got lucky. You had this nigga crawling on the floor.
God damn it. All right, come on. Shit.
And enjoy your dinner.
And then this nigga left him on the floor to set up the camera so he could pick him up on camera. You couldn't just put the phone down and just help him up. You walked right past closed the door, locked it, took your shoes off, your jacket off, set your backpack down, fucking looked at yourself in the mirror, make sure you weren't laughing too hard, went to the fridge, got yourself something to drink, put that shit down and said, all right, Unc, I'm finna get you up. First, let me set my phone up. Hold on. And you brought the phone over on the TV stand. You set that up. Oh, okay, wait, man, that ain't a good angle. You ain't gonna see it from there. Then you went to the edge of the couch. You set the camera up on the couch a little bit. You look back. Oh, okay, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to put this shit on the ground. So then you put it on the ground. And now after 15 minutes of Unc face down with the cul-de-sac on top of his head, laying on the floor with minimal movement, now you ready to get him up.
You never know. I think he Creole. As you all know, I'm Fred Boucher.
What's there? Shit, it feel like my nigga dying. God damn.
This is the type of shit I love ending the show up, man. I love ending the show with some laughs, man. GMS fam, the Green Room. It's been a dope show today. I appreciate every single one of y'all for pulling up, man. Shout out to my GMS fam. Shout out to the Green Room. Shout out to everybody that participated today. Shout out to the people that supported in a big way. Shout out to those that sent the Cash App. If you want to support the GMS show in a big way, if I can get 5 of y'all, 5 people in the chat to send $5 to the Cash App, I would most appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up today. I thank y'all for hitting the like button, sharing it. I follow everybody back. At least I'll try to now, because now my GMS show page on Instagram starting to get a bunch of followers. So I'm trying to make sure I maintain keeping up with the people that support the show. So thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Shout out your city in the chat right now. Let me see where you are tuning in live from as we get up out of here. GMS fam, the Green Room. Let's go. Matter of fact, let's end this with some new beats. Let's end this with some new beats, man. Or some newer beats. Not the newest, but some newer beats. We're gonna do that. Let's do that. Shout out your city. Shout out to Memphis. Sabrina, appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up and showing love. Hey, hey, West Palm Beach in the building. I'm gonna have a different setup soon. You know, give me some time. Give me some time. I'm gonna have some shit set up. I'm gonna move this little space around, and I'm gonna get to it. I'm trying to up production around here, man. Shout out to Kalena. Is that how you say it? Kaliana? Is that how you say it? Kaliana Bentz? I hope I'm saying that right. Appreciate you. Toke Champs in the building, Forest City, Arkansas. I see you. My brother Sheriff is tuning in from London, UK. I love seeing that on the screen. I don't know why. I just love seeing it. I love seeing that somebody is watching this show faithfully out in London. I love that shit. Tremaine in the building. Shout out to Sacramento. Sacktown in the building. Ironically, that's a place that Diddy likes to call one of his freak offs. He calls it Sacktown. I don't know why he calls it Sacktown. Take a guess. Shout out to Vale from Vallejo. I come from Vallejo. I get there to Vallejo. You come in the scraper with vapors. Ooh. Marcus in the building. Shout out to you from Houston. T-Fam1 in the building, straight from Harvey, Illinois. Shout out to my Illinois family. You know, Illinois and Indiana, best friends, man. Shout out to my people out in Chicago. Shout out to my people out in Gary, Indiana. All my family out in Gary, I appreciate y'all. Smooth in the building. Southside, Shy City coming in, tuning in. Sabrina, the brain, powerful muscle work. Hey, I see you. Hey. 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 Alright, I gotta get up out of here. I'm hungry than a motherfucker. I gotta go eat some shit. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all day. I hope y'all prosper. I hope y'all get into y'all goals. Get into the money. Reach your success. Plotting out your next moves. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. GMS fam, the green room. We out. Switch the beat, nigga.